All right. Okay, right. We want to welcome you to this broadcast. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon, right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. Again, here very shortly, my guest, hopefully, will be joining me. Senator Thomas Grupee of Nimba County will be joining me here this afternoon from neighboring Massachusetts. But someone who knows the politics of Nimba as well will be joining me here. Mr. Victor Gray Barney is in Minneapolis. And we hope to connect with our man inside Liberia. Mr. Mike Dunn is in main studio as well of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. They both want to be joining me here right here from the New England Bureau here this afternoon to have this discussion. Folks, stay away. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio, and this is your informative news magazine. The forum is airing right now on LPR TV. Stay tuned. I will be right back. All right, there you have it. Right there, we want to welcome you. Thank you for sharing your afternoon. Let me see yet if we can connect with our man Victor Gray Barney, who are going to be taking our inside the politics of Nimba County, hopefully until the senator can join us. And we hope to be getting a reaction from Liberia. As you know, the country now, the 15 political subdivisions are involved in elections, and we're going to be having a conversation with all of these potential aspirants, what it brings to the table and what they have in store. Until then, just stay tuned, and we're going to be having this program here. Hello, Mr. Gray, are you there? Okay, Ty, good afternoon and good Sunday. How are you today? Are you there? Okay, I said good afternoon. How are you today? Okay. All right. Nobody better can put it into context. The politics of Nimba County. You actively be involved in the politics of Nimba County. We decided to just tap into your expertise. And guess what? Just before coming on air, I just received a call also from one of the potential and viable candidate Representative Electoral District Number 1, Jeremiah Cohn, will be here on Tuesday. So this seems to be fascinating that whatever we do here in the diaspora seems to also be resonating back there. Okay. All right. To some level that you want us to discuss, please correct the spelling of the guest name is Thomas S. Grupee. Well, I believe that's what we have there. All right, Ellen, thank you. Let me see yet if we can make that. Make this, yeah, it's Thomas S. Grupee. I believe it's Grupee. So I don't know what you. Let me check here, Helen. Let me see what you're talking about. Grup. Oh, it's one E is okay. Okay, thank you, Helen. And that's what I like our folks here. is important. I don't want to be held in contempt. So let me just make quick edit here. I don't want to go to Liberia. Is one instead of one E. I mean 1P. I put that. I believe is double E. So Helen, thank you so much for your far-sightedness. I don't want to be. I don't want to be. Adequately said to be held in contempt in Liberia. Mr. Gray, just hold on one second. Let me see here. Let me just make this correction here. Again, all right, let me see here. Okay, is GRUPP. All right, Helen, thank you so much. This is what we like. The civility on this network here, it will help to make our country fix, because if all decide to be stubborn and nobody wants to be corrected and you think you Mr. Know-all and Mrs. Know-all, then is something. Thank you so much. And believe me, tomorrow, go to any of the car dealership, your credit is restored. Okay, Mr. Bani, let me just come to you. You are a native son of Nimba County. Is Nimba County, the politics in Nimba, is it different from that of any other political subdivision, you think? How? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, has there been a kind of political struggle between the two sections, upward and lower, in your opinion? The cost. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. And what is that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is so in that context, someone is being politically disadvantaged. If that was the case, is that how they see it? It is, and not to cut you off, it is very, very much important. You know, and I know Nima is a very rich vote county. This is where most of the presidential hopeful, they are anticipating, I believe, the second largest populated city in Liberia. they always like to go there to get the blessing from Nimba, and votes coming from Nimba does make a significant impact on the political landscape in Liberia. Hmm. Let me see here. What?
Create a burden on the country of the people of Liberia. Why? And now you represent your people like you stay there. You know, and then if there was a law, when we say when you want to run, you know, resign, I was going to be very happy. These are things that
let me see here. Hold on 1 second. The no audio from the guest. I'm not sure why they said no audio from the guest. Hold on 1 second yet, Mr. Ty Gray. Okay, Ty, please double check there if the audio it said no audio from the guest. I'm not sure why it's okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me just call you back here and see. Thank you very much because it looks fine with me on this side. So I'm not sure why. It's okay. Okay. Victor, Mr. Bani, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. All right, Mazola, whoever watching, if the audio is okay, thank you so much, Simon. These technologies, sometimes they are so annoying. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry for that. So, but your argument, why is he leaving the representative position? He wants to go to is creating burden. But that's his constitutional right. There is nothing in the constitution that forbid that. And I know which context you are coming from here. Creating a vacuum does add more burden to national government. Is that why? Is that how you're looking at it?
No. Put it this way: it's a burden. It's a burden. It has always been a burden because the country is going through financial crisis. But then you create by-election almost all the time. Because why? Because why? Another man leaving an elected position to another elected position. Let's take, for example, Grand Judah County. Zopen wants to be a senator. So that they are right. I agree. But it creates burden for the country. For me, if I was in the house, 1 time Vanning Sherman tried to propose those legislation. I don't know whether it worked or it didn't work, but the idea those were good or legislation that he wanted to introduce.
Okay, let's come back home. What I still wait for my guests here. The politics of Nimba. What makes it so unique? What makes it different than that of the politics of Grand Gila or maybe Bon County, Lofa, or Grand Basso? Why?
Because Nimba is still unique in a way that you have these. See, Nimba, if you live in Nimba County, you will understand. Nimba County is a traditional county. You have these traditional organizations or the traditional institutions that are in Nimba County. Take, for example, you look at the Bon. Take, for example, you look at the Liberia. They got a group of people. So they sit down and decide the fate of the country. The country is very populated next to Monrovia, but they are unique in selecting people.
The uniqueness.
And what I mean is that it's a traditional country. The elders take decisions and then people follow. Because why? Those are the people who control those unique traditional institutions that were in the country, in the society country. Now, you don't see those kind of things in Grand Judah County because why? They don't have one.
So, but how the elder goes about to make the decisions? The politicians, they do not talk on the issues. They decide, say, what sort of guess game is that?
now, like for example, when you get together in Nimba County, you go in the. I'm sorry for saying that. I don't want to say it on radio, but you go in the Zobi, they say, okay, you go one side, then that's it. Yeah. So when they take those kind of decision, then that's just it. If you think Nimba County should be about 3 counties in Nimba, but Nimba County continue to renew as a one county. Look at Grange there. You got River G. Look at Sano. You got how you call it, a Grand Crew. Look at Grand Bassa. Then you get how you call it, Riverset. So Nimba, who get it? The first thing is that you, even if you are voting in Liberia, you don't even need to go to the southeast to be president. You can still write and just become a president. Look at how you call the president, got Bapolu. But Nimba County remain one because of the strength. Now, one of the other strength because the people have a organized institution where I will call society that keep the country to stay hold together. So that's what happened, or Mr. So.
Okay, just before coming on air, it's quite fascinating. Whatever things that we talk here is also resonating. I just got a call from one who is determined to put out an upset in the senatorial race in Nimba, electoral district number 1, Jeremiah Cone. Just called in and he has expressed his concern, and he will be appearing here on Tuesday. And the godfather, as he claimed to be, Senator Prince Yomi Johnson, is now throwing his weight behind Jeremiah Cone in this senatorial race. What does that speak to?
And the very first thing I will tell you is that, I'll put it this way, that Prince Johnson and Jeremiah Cone, they are in the same party. This is a political, support. As a political party support, let me put it that way. But I'll put it this way, that when we were in the NUDP, when I was chairman of the National Union for Democratic Progress, Jeremiah Cone was the election commission chairman that elected me as chairman. But this is the thing. Prince Johnson have to understand, and he don't understand, that Jeremiah Cone is a very good guy, and he's very powerful in that Bengal district. But when Jeremiah Cone to look at Nimba now, then I just don't know how he's going to play off. But that depends on his campaign. Because, that depends on his campaign. Because the reason is very simple. You got to be very, you got to think about how Nimba kind of people would think. Jeremiah Cone is from Sano. His parents from Sano, but his mother is a Nimbayan. So maybe the Nimbayan will look at it and say, "Oh, hey, that our son, that our
so they're going to see that will he be seen as a political intrusion?
Yeah. They could say that our nephew. So now we're just giving him a chance. But at the same time, they say, "Oh no, we gotta be very careful." You get a crewman as a president in Liberia, and we come and take another crewman to be senator in Nimba County. We gotta be very careful. That's one. Even when I ran to be a representative, that because of my club, for which I did not win the election in Nimba. You understand? Because they will always say, "Well, it can't be this way." That as I have already told you, that Nimba is a kind of peculiar society that they have. So now, but I'm a Nimbayan. 100% Nimbayan. But Nimbayan, mother Nimbayan. But so when I Jeremiah Cone change to come, too. Then I also told you the upper Nimba.
So, Mr. Bani, not to disrupt you, does he stand a better chance politically? He's coming into the race because his region there, it seems to be a vote-rich land that is within the Ganta corridor there, where he's from. That's a vote-rich land.
Look at it this way. You see, in Mossorado County, I'll give you an example. You see a lot of DC guys senators and representatives in Mossorado County. Everybody can be there. But when you go to the traditional counties, then you got to be very careful. Jeremiah Cone won because Ganta is nobody comes. That everybody lives there. You got Crown, you got Gio, you got Pella, you got everybody lives there. Okay. So when you taking the traditional facts of Nimba County, then it becomes a pressure.
Okay, hold on.
Then the people.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm not sure you're going to get a call out. Being joined by LPR Mike Dan, who is also a native man from Nimba County. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. So good afternoon
All right, if
again.
you can a little bit position yourself much better, you seems to be one side, maybe go to, yeah, I'm not sure. I guess you are not in studio right now. Okay, much better. Okay, thank you very much. Mike Dan is LPR Managing Director based in Liberia. And we are talking about Kennedy. Let's get into expertise. He's from the Nimba region. He will tell us exactly the politics of Nimba. Mike, bring up to speed here. The politics of Nimba, is it different from that of the politics in any other country in Liberia, you think?
No, not, absolutely, it's not. There's not much difference when it comes to politics in Nimba and politics in other area in Liberia. But what I can tell you is that Nimba is traditionally entrenched area when it comes to politics. They respect what we call elders. Uh, that's why most of the time our current senator, Senator Prince Johnson, will always say he is the godfather of Nimba. So traditionally they respect people a whole lot. That's one advantage that Nimba has. That one of the trend of Nimba politics and. Tribalism too also it plays a serious part when it comes to politics in Nimba. So it's another issue. And on a regional basis too, people will in Nimba the politics too is based on regionalism. Where you from? I mean, who are your people and so forth.
Okay. Who are your people and so forth? Let me recognize President Dan Dennis of Unique Court. Our prayers and thought goes out to him. He's one of those, even though after we receive the numbers from our correspondents from inside Liberia, he one of those that help us to make sure to get these people. But we're understanding this morning that his father passed. Our prayers and thought goes out to the Dennis family here. So I just got a phone call from Representative Jeremiah Cohn, who seems to be a challenger, the godfather in your word, Senator Prince Johnson. Our understanding is throwing his support behind Jeremiah Cohn. Uh, uh, he just reached out to LPR and he will be appearing here on Tuesday. With Prince Johnson happens to be the godfather with his endorsement or support, will it factor in to this senatorial race in Nima County, you think?
Absolutely, yes, Alfonso. It has some level of factor, a serious factor on anyone determined to become Senator of Nimba. You know, Prince Johnson has won twice as Senator of Nimba. In 2005, he won the senatorial race with one of the highest votes in Nimba.
Mhm.
And also in 2014, after his first 9 years ended, he again went into the race. And then he was overwhelmingly elected with over 30,000 votes. Mana Edith Gongolo, who came next to her, was around 17,000 votes. So absolutely, Prince Johnson has a very serious influence on politics in Nimba. That cannot be divorced from politics in Nimba. So endorsing Jeremiah Kuhn, I think going to we cannot say yes he will be the victor, but he has some serious influence on him on his chances of becoming senator because besides his Senator Johnson endorsement, Ganta, which is Benga district, is one of the populated districts in Nimba, a populated area for that matter. So again, Senator Johnson backing, Senator Johnson is mainly from the Geo end. So many of those people always see him as the godfather. As such, he has a serious influence. You remember he funded the NUDP. Later on, he went to the MDR. He established another political party called MDR, and most of those that contested on the political parties that he established, they were many of them who won the race in Nimba. They won the seats. So he has in the past and endorse candidates from Nimba that have become victorious. So his endorsement, it has serious influence on anybody for that matter, positively.
All right. So his endorsement is that there's no question about that. Age is also catching up with the sitting senator who happens to be the godfather. So is he taking the political decision as to somebody maybe when he retires, somebody who's going to be there to push his agenda? Is that the direction you think he's going in?
I think this is a direction that Senator Johnson is trying to take. But what is happening here is that what Representative Larry Yonkwe and former lawmaker Matenoge Tingban and others have been saying that one person cannot be the one to control everybody. So if at all, if Senator Johnson is Senator Johnson is not Nimba. This is what they've been saying. So he cannot be the
But is it
only body to say
resonating? Is
the
it
person
resonating with
represent.
Nimayans?
Well, somehow it is resonating because from our own survey, from the local team, it's been resonating. Because Senator Johnson will come and say, "Well, if you don't vote me, that's it." He he's sometimes very rhetorical when it comes to his decision, and at times it resonates well. So it's from this backdrop that I think he continued to win the votes from Nimba and also having serious influence on the people of Nimba. Because, but like I was saying, few other lawmakers have been saying that no, he cannot be the decider, he cannot be the only kingmaker of Nimba. He can be ever all his time expired, let me go and rest. He cannot be the only one to say yes. Beside Prince Johnson, there will be no better Nimba. There will be no better politics in Nimba. And this is what they've been saying, especially Representative Larry Yonkwe, who is
Mhm.
fierce opponent of Senator Johnson.
Yeah, but what are they? Okay, so let's play it. Let's play it a little bit hardball yet. You've been following what is unfolding in Nima. The collaborative party, they will have people that are one way. The daughter of Nima, Edith Bongo, well, former superintendent of the county as well. All of those people are in the race. What is the conversation that is coming from inside Nimba, and what is the conversation in Monrovia relative for their potential choice? And you have a certain Senator Thomas Grupee. He's currently in the U.S. He's fighting for his political career. This time around seems to be a tough one.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for Senator Grupee because from the local thing, you remember sometime in 2011, Senator Grupee won Madam Edith with some slight margin, if I'm not mistaken, and that ended to a court later on the settle it on a family basis. So again, he had been away from the country for some time, and he had not been in good terms with his maker. You know, his maker, Senator Johnson, who through his influence on his party, then the NUDP he contested on, they are not been too good at certain point in time. So,
Okay.
coupled with this, uh,
Yeah.
yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, Mike. Just make your point. I believe my guest is here. Senator Thomas Grupee is here joining me. Just make your Senator, if you can put your camera up a little bit for my listening viewer to see you, that would be great. If you can put it up a little bit. So, Mike, let me just go to you to make your final argument here on the race in Nimba County. Is a crowded field, a lot of big names in politics from the land of Nimba are there here. Put it into context here before I bring my guest in, and I'm going to be getting your reaction right after the show. What is the news coming from inside Nimba? What are the Nimayans in Monrovia? What are they saying?
Well, they have not. They haven't endorsed a one single candidate yet. But from the local team, the race going to be is going to be between. I mean, among three, basically. or let's say 2% for the matter of fact.
Mhm.
The former superintendent, Madam Edith Gonglo Ware, again, she's a force in Nimba. She has contested twice as Senate, for the senatorial post in
Mhm.
Nimba,
Mhm.
2011 and 2014,
Oh,
coming second place respectively. And also, Representative Jeremiah Kuhn, like I said, from the district. He has one of the populated districts in Nimba. The Benga district in Nimba, the Ganta area is a huge population place. So, coupled with that, he has some level of edge. Again, with the endorsement coming from Senator Prince Johnson, he's going to have some edge. That
oh,
one way, of course. Recently, Senator Johnson said he was a stranger. He called him an alien, in fact.
really?
So, uh, from the CPP, the Collaborating Political Party, and TAC who have just have some level of edge. Again, one may say he's now well known all over in the country. So from the local things, it's going to be they are the three landers for now. We can see.
Oh,
The former superintendent Doc Popotu has been coming, but again, this is going to be his fault. He and Madam Gonglo were are from the same place, so
there will be a split
citizens there
in
might
votes.
either decide, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that might
Okay.
just decide to
Okay,
carry the
Mike,
superintendent,
let's
the
leave
former
it here. I'm going to be
superintendent.
getting your reaction. My guest is here. Senator Thomas S. Grupee of Nimba County is here. And I will be coming back to you later on there to connect with you. Thank you so much, Mike Down.
Thank you.
Okay, let me bring in my special guest here this afternoon on Freedom Watch. Is the sitting senator of Nimba County, Senator Thomas S. Grupee is here joining me from neighboring Massachusetts. Honorable Senator, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Alfonso. I'm happy to be with you this afternoon. And let
Okay.
me first and foremost also say happy July 4th to the people in the United States and in Liberia. Happy pre-July 26th.
Okay. Well, one thing I'm not good at is to introduce people. I really don't need an introduction, but every minute, second, we have different new viewers, and then people are always a second spell who they are. So maybe if you can just do a minute to introduce yourself, and then I will get down to the business.
Well, as you said earlier on, I'm Senator Thomas Grupee, from Nimba. I am the current, sitting senator for Nimba. I was elected, by the people of Nimba in 2011, and I took my seat 2012. And since then, I have been working there with my people. I'm originally from the Tapeta, Salvatore districts, which we refer to as Lower Nimba.
Mhm.
Prior to becoming senator of Nimba County, I resided in the United States for a protracted period of time. And while I was in the United States, I was a very strong, community advocate. I worked here in Massachusetts as president of the Massachusetts Liberian Community of Massachusetts Association, and also served as president of EULA before heading back to Liberia. And since then, I have been living there.
Okay, so basically, you're going to the Senate. You kind of solidify your position here from the EULA base and being here as well here. Okay, so what since 2011 you've been senator?
I've been senator. Sorry, I've been interrupted by a call. I've been senator now since 2012. I took my seat 2012 January 2nd Monday. So now I have been there for 8.5 years.
8.5.
I'm going for re-election.
And you are asking for additional 9 years from the people of Nimba County.
Exactly. yeah, I am seeking re-election from the people of Nimba.
So talk to me here, the politics of Nimba, and I was just talking to our correspondent based in Morovia. Is the politics of Nimba, is it different from that of the politics of neighboring Banga or Lofat, all of them within the Central Belt? Is it different?
Well, the politics of Liberia, let me say, it is very similar. But yes, indeed, while you have the similarity, there are a little bit of differences. Because Nimba having to be the largest county in size, land size, and Nimba is the second most populated county behind how they call Maserati. So with the population and also our political demographic, it makes Nimba County a little bit different from other counties. But Nimba, as you may know, Nimba, Bon, Lofa, Grand Gile were all created together as a county.
Right. In
1964.
Right.
And since then, their politics have been very similar. We have, somehow sisterly counties relationship, between our leaders, and up to the present, we have had very good working relationship between those counties. And in fact, during the past election, we tried to have some sort of collaboration among those, 4 counties.
Okay, all right. So Nimba is strategically, politically is strategic in the sense that anyone leading to the path of presidency, you must have the endorsement of Nimba County, because it's all about the figure, it's all about the number. Talk to me here, Senator. Why it looks like being a sitting senator in Liberia? Many alleging senators, people, the Capitol building is a corrupt system. The people there, they are not serving the purpose of their people. They are all about themselves. Now, I'm privileged to have you here. What is the true version in being on Capitol Hill?
That statement might not be, very true. Serving in Liberia in all aspects. It might be in the private sector, in the government sector, or whatever. It has so many challenges. I think I'm having a problem with the speaker here. It has so many challenges. Okay. When I was living here in the United States, we have, different opinions about politics in Liberia, about, the inner working of the politics in Liberia. But since I returned to Liberia and saw the reality on the ground, I have a little, different view about what takes place, on the ground. Mostly one of our problems having to be, the economics of the country, and also the educational, standard of our people. Of course, poverty having to play a very huge role, but the educational standard of our people also play a very pivotal role for the fact that the people ought to know, the 3 branches of government and their functionality of the government. So with that, they will know exactly how to hold you as a legislator or working within the executive or within the judiciary, to hold your feet to the fire or to hold you accountable for what you are responsible for. But most times that is not the case.
Is that a valid argument though?
Yeah, it is a valid argument. It is a valid argument just based on what I just, enumerated to you, early on. People not understanding, the basic dynamic of politics in Liberia, especially so knowing the 3 branches of government, the functions of the 3 branches of government. So it gives the people a very high expectation, especially so of the legislative branch of government, which are sometimes referred to as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The people expect that we should be, the panacea for all of their social, economical, and political issues in Liberia.
Senator, let me just hold you there. Another free thinker who might be out there will say, there you go again, politicians give justification. Maybe he himself is being initiated in the culture of Capitol Hill. That's how they may see your argument here, even though it's a valid thing that you're laying out here. But I have some of your critics going to be saying, here, there you go. They are giving excuses again. He wants to go back on Capitol Hill. He has not done what he's supposed to do. And now he's laying out the case of what he thought when he was out of the building is different when you go in there. How can you argue that?
I will argue that by saying that, every one of us, first of all, whether a politician or a driver or what have you, in order for you to enter any industry, you have to first, learn. Okay. When I went in to the Liberian Senate, okay, I consider myself at the time, as a freshman, senator, and I have to learn my way around, to see how team work and how team play out. Now, when you get in there and then get to know how team works, you will find that it is altogether different. It is not exactly what you think, it should be. For the fact that I think the more recent example have to do with, my colleagues, Darren Dillon. Mm-hmm. When Darren Dillon came in, he came in with a very big ego. Okay. Mm-hmm. And every one of us, did a scene like me coming out of, how they call the United States, where we were advocating for good governance, for change in the right direction, eradication of corruption and so forth. But when you get in there, you got to know that these are teamworks. You cannot do this in isolation. You will need, the help of your colleagues, even to pass a bill. Mm-hmm. Okay, you might have a very, very valid, argument. You might have a very good bill that you want to pass. Okay, which will be very beneficial to the people of the country. But if you don't, build a consensus, okay, it will be very difficult. So there where you find yourself, with the frustration and disappointment. So you have to work along with your colleagues. You have to make sure that the people in a country that you are fighting for do understand exactly what you are trying to put, before them. Otherwise, your good might turn to bad. And that is exactly, some of the experiences that some of us have.
Okay, we just getting the information here, Senator, just to let you know, our sister network, we see ourselves to partnership with an anti-Liberian-based network. Nimba DTV is currently relaying this interview as well. Well, I just lose Senator Grupee. Hopefully he will join us, and we want to say to Ambassador Bawit and the team at Nimba Network TV. We say thank you so much. This is a sort of collaboration we are looking forward to extend the voices and the points of our leaders and even those of us in the diaspora. Probably we can work out plans here for us at Liberia Public Radio. And I want to say a big thank you again to President Dan, who also helped to facilitate this here. Hopefully my guest is going to be joining me back here, and that we will be getting reactions. Also, to our Facebook feed is also, we can also receive questions from there. We should have an interview with one of the senatorial aspirants of Grand County about in the last minute. There was a cancellation on their part, and I'm talking about aspirant William Bill Nyanu, who happens to be the former president of the Grand United Association. There is no new date yet. If there's any, at some point in time, we'll let you know. He should have been here today too, but there was a cancellation on the part of exploratory team. We cannot go much more further. Interestingly, just before coming here, one of the challengers in Nimba County, who the godfather of the politics of Nimba, Senator Prince Johnson, is heavily throwing his weight behind. Representative for Electoral District number 1, Jeremiah Cohn, just called in at the Liberia Public Radio, and he will be appearing here on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 5 o'clock local time in Liberia, and we'll try to see if even the DTV of Nimba County to also come in again, because I would believe the electors of Nimba they deserve to know what these candidates, what they stand, let them vote on issues, not just only because of region. Hopefully the Senator Grupee will join us. I'm Alfonso Z and so of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. A lot is in store. We're going to be getting some candidates from Mount Gibbet and other places. The list is huge, and we will do this moving forward. We must hold these people accountable. The reason that more or less it is more preferable that they are going on Capitol Hill. What are they taking on Capitol Hill? We want to know that. Hopefully that he's going to join me right here again to tell us why he's seeking for 9 more years. Why Nimbayans? Okay, there we go. The Senator.
So
I'm so sorry. Are you there, Honorable Senator?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yeah, we got interrupted. Do you remember where you stopped, or can I pick up from this end?
Yes, pick up from that end. I know you are introducing a radio station.
Okay, yeah, there you go. You see it? Radio DTV of Nimba County is also relaying this interview. So pretty well, your message is going back to your constituent. Why 9 more years, Senator Grupee? Why you need 9 more years to go on Capitol Hill?
Sometimes when people talk about year or 9 years or 10 years and so forth, you might think that it is a huge lot, but it is not very much so when you have a view, very huge agenda, to deal with. When I went to the Liberian Senate,
when you say huge agenda
in Liberia, yeah, when I talk about huge agenda, you're talking about, a country that just came out of civil war, 14 years of civil war, that almost every social fabric and everything on the countries are all broken. And you have to pick up all of the pieces. Besides that, the issue of reconciliation, it's a very, very huge challenge in the country. Then you have, road connectivities, which happen to be one of our serious challenges. Okay. Then you have issues that have to, especially from the point of Nimba County, where we have 5 different ethnic groups, officially 5 different ethnic groups. And most of the ethnic groups fought against each other during the Civil War. You have an issue of reconciliation among, the tribes. So looking at all of those are very huge challenges. Then you look at the very poor, educational, conditions that we have in the country. During Madam Salih time, we call it a mess, and we're taking the mess, from mess to best. That's a very huge challenge. Then you look at the healthcare system. We have been hit by 2, pandemic. The coronavirus, not corona, how they call Ebola. The Ebola was the first. Then we have, coronavirus that have, immensely interrupted our development agenda. Okay, so looking at all of these issues are very huge issue to deal with, and having these on the agenda is constantly interrupt what you have to do. Like for me right now, on my fact sheets, I have about 83, projects that are broken down into 4 categories. You have a direct project, you have legislative EMI project, you have joint legislative EMI projects, and then you have what we call self-help projects that are initiated, by the citizenry themselves, where government cannot reach. Okay, to say that we will make the bridge for you here to cross from Lokwatu, to Sankepa. The citizen decides, well, seeing government cannot reach there far, let us do the bridge for ourselves. And then, of course, they had to turn to you as their leader, for assistance. So I am looking at about 83 different, how they call projects that I have to deal with. Okay, so those are very huge, challenges, and those are things that on your plate that you have to deal with. Also, Nimba County having a 9 electoral districts, which is second to Maserado, okay, with over 500,000 population within Nimba. But looking at Nibarians in a totality for the entire country, it is estimated that we have 1.2 Nibarians. And the culture of governing that we have in Liberia, and this from my own experience, my colleagues might be different. I live in Monrovia and work in Monrovia, as per the constitution. The 3 branches of government had to reside together: the Capitol building, the executive mansion, and the Supreme Court. But all of my citizens that live in Monrovia, that either live and work there or go to school in Liberia, I am accountable to them. If there's any issues, okay, affecting Nibarian, even though they live in Maserado County and they're supposed to be going to their Maserado superintendent, superintendent, senator, or representative. No, but that will not be the case. They will have to run to their, how they call, senator of the origin. Okay, so that put a very huge burden on us. Now, people that live in Maserado County and also senator or representative within Maserado County have a little bit easier tax, for the fact that most of the people in Maserado County are educated and also have jobs. Okay, and almost 90% of those that live in Maserado County, came from somewhere else, from one of the 14 other counties. So so these are some of the problems that we have.
Okay, so let me hold you there. What a great analysis of your agenda. But it sounds like Dr. Weah is seeking for an additional year. Now you've been there going to 9 years now. So all of these years, what have you completed, Senator?
I have completed, a whole lot in terms of achievement, infrastructure development achievement. We first, it was under my watch that we helped Madame Salih, to build the road from Coca-Cola factory, to pave the road from Coca-Cola factory to Ganta. Okay, and then we started the Ganta, Yekepa road. It was under Madame Salih that we broke ground for that road. And His Excellency President Weah and took over, from there. Then we went and did a second groundbreaking, and that road is ongoing right now.
So do you care to disclose your political identity in terms of which party? Because there are trillions of political parties in Liberia. I just don't even, every day a new party is born into the political dynasty of Liberia. Which party are you affiliating or caucus with?
Right now, I'm with the Unity Party. Unity Party. Which is
part of the collaborate, the CPP. Unity Party, is it part of the CPP?
Yeah, it's part of the CPP, the 4-party collaborating, party. When I first went in,
do you endorse that their consensus, that agreement signed? Are you in support of it?
Before going there, let me just complete this, because I don't want the people, Yes. When I went into the Liberian Senate, I went on the ticket of NUDP. Okay, NUDP having to be a political party that was funded by Senator Prince Johnson, who is our senior senator. When we got in there, after about, I think Vita Barney, who was one of your guests, on the show, also served as a chairman of NUDP. When we got in there, after 4 years, we had problem with the party, the party. And
what was the problem? Do you care to tell us?
Yeah, there was inner fighting, as you may know, political, disagreement with policy and what have you. So that led to the dispute, which led to the to the notification of the party. The party was notified by the Election Commission of Liberia. So I went with our party for about 2 years. Every one of us went our own way. It was at that time that I went by.
Despite all of those, despite the proliferations of these political parties, you went without a party for 2 years.
I went without a party for 2 years because in order to form a comfortable political home, you have to do some assessment. So while living in the United States, I was also affiliating with Unity Party, okay, because of my connection with former President Madam Salif. So I thought it was to go to, Unity Party, and this is how I went and joined Unity Party. While with Unity Party, Senator Prince Johnson came up with a new party. In fact, he went to election for a re-election in 2014 as an independent, okay, because we did not have a party. So he came by with a new political party called MDR, okay, and then I stick with, Unity Party, and I serve as a national, chairman of the National Campaign Committee, for Unity Party, the election for which we were defeated by, CDC. So
probably you didn't do your job.
I did. I did the best I could, but it was a democratic process. So we did not expect that all of the 22 political parties, were going to all be the winner.
We come to the cardinal point yet of the purpose of your campaign. I want to give you the opportunity for the Nimayans and the electors of Nimba to hear you. But let us just do a little bit backtracking yet of your political history. The Unity Party, which happens, are you still with Unity Party, first of all?
Yes, I am still with Unity Party.
There's no question about that, and you can dispute me. There was a great divide within the Unity Party prior to the departure of Helen Johnson Sirleaf. I did not see her coming out publicly to campaign for someone who served for 12 consecutive years, and Omen Ambassador Boycott alluded that he was parked in a garage. I still yet to get the political context in which he was speaking. Hopefully one of these days I will have the opportunity to talk to him as well. What led down to the breakdown in the Unity Party for which Madam Helen Johnson Sirleaf did not support her vice president?
There was multiple problems, and to be very frank, just to point out a very few of the problems, one of it have to do with the relationship between, Madam Sirleaf and that of Councillor, Vani Sharma. Okay, Senator Councillor Vani Sharma, and also, the current, whether I should say current, or the in battle chairman of the political party, Honorable Waymon Pay. Waymon Pay, Councillor Vani Sharma, and Madam Sirleaf, who were, in fact, she is the chairman emeritus. Okay, standard bearer emeritus, have a very serious, inconcilable differences.
Okay,
and with them being with
No, I'm not going to wait much time here. I want to give you the opportunity why you should be re-enlightened. But just speak here for the last time here. Did you intervene to bring that?
Yes, I did. I did. In fact, the last conversation between Madam Sirleaf and Ambassador Joseph Nimba, I presided over that meeting at our campaign headquarters, the Concordan by Road. And the former president put a square out that she has no problem with her vice president at the time, Joseph Nimba, but she do have problem with these two people, Councillor Vani Sharma and the chairman Waymon Pay.
But they were
and as long as this problem was not reconciled,
But they were not on the ballot, Mr. Honorable Senator. It was
Ambassador. They were not on the ballot, but they were the faces, of the political party. Councillor Chama having been a former chair of the party, and then also serving as an advisor to Joseph Nimba Boake. She felt, me reading from what she put out, she felt that they were so influential, and in case of anything, they will influence the decision of Ambassador Joseph Nimba Boake. So for this reason, she wanted that to be squared out. She had to give her support, to Ambassador Boake.
Okay, quickly, do you think that was a fair judgment on the part of former President Helen Johnson Sirleaf to have tie into Ambassador Boake with that of William Pay and Councillor Sherman? Was that a fair? You think that was that a fair political game?
Well, they were fair to me. It is to her it could be fair, okay. But for the general good of the party as well as the general interest of the country, I thought that it would have been prudence for them to put these little differences aside and then come together and wish into the election, and after the election to see if we can work out some of those, irreconcilable differences. So they did not see it that way.
Okay, getting the little details that I'm hearing now, which I've never heard before, is it fair to say that categorically that then President Helen Johnson Sirleaf no way in any form or shape supported the candidacy of Ambassador Joseph Nimba Boake? Fair enough?
Fair enough to say that, especially so at the end, of the election cycle, she did not. And in fact, the party went on to expel her. I think you heard of that.
Yes.
Which her exposure, was reinstated or overruled by, the Supreme Court.
Do you welcome her reinstatement?
Oh yeah, definitely so. And we have worked out, all of those issues. She and most of our colleagues, came by.
All right, let me take you to Nimba County. I think that's where you are on the ballot and not the ballot. When you decide to contest for the presidency of Liberia, then we're going to talk the hardball issue. But let me just take you to Nimba County. My understanding, you are on a committee of internal good governance and internal affairs, right?
No, I am. Yes, you are correct. Sorry, okay. I was a chairman on the committee on internal affairs, good governing, reconciliation, and peace. I am no longer a chair of that committee. I am still a member, a ranking member of the committee, but I now, chair defense, security, intelligence, and veterans affairs at the Liberian Senate.
Okay. Yeah. So quickly here, why municipal elections are not held in Liberia up to this point? We have the president still appointing superintendent. Mayors are not elected. Commissioners are not elected. That's part of your...
Yes.
What is
as chair on internal affairs, it was a huge problem that we have to deal with. And still, as member of internal affairs, we are still dealing with that particular problem. One of the issues that we are still dealing with, it has to do with economic issues. Okay, the Chitemse elections are very cost, effective, and having all of our town chief, clan chief, paramount chiefs, superintendent, and so not superintendent, clan, town, and paramount chief to be elected are very, very cost intensive. That's what I meant. Cost intensive. And then also setting a structure out, it is much more difficult than looking at our national election on the presidential and legislative level.
So, meaning there is no budget to conduct chieftaincy and these municipal election.
Right now, we are trying to put things together, but before looking at a budget, the first and foremost things that we had to look at was the structure. and then that was taken care of by the passage of the Local Government Act. When we pass the Local Government Act into law, okay, the Local Government Act, deal with most of the challenges that we have, okay, in terms of, chieftaincy election. But we have a provisional period, okay, which is 7 years. The 7 years now, I believe we are gone, for about 3 years for the full implementation of the Act, the Local Government Act. Now, this Act, once come into full swing, we allowed, most of our local officials to be elected and accountable to their people.
Yeah, it didn't work the last time around. What is the evidence that it's going to work in the next 9 years?
Well, the reason that it did not work before, for me, I believe it was something that the Liberian people call hurry, bus trust. If you do it right for the first time, you will not be repeating yourself. But if you don't do it right for the first time, you will need to go back, to the drawing board. So the way in which it was done before, it was not put together, in a very proper manner. Now, it is very easy for you to have, political decentralization. Okay, it's easy to have economic. It is not easy to have economic decentralization on our structure because we do not have a federal system. Okay, so the counties are dependent on the central government. So when you talk about the election of superintendent, where do they have their funding from, and how do they collect taxes? So you have to work out a mechanism where, you will have a structure that will allow the collection of local taxes that will support, a local governing structure. So that we didn't have it in the first place.
Who should have constituted that structure?
It is a government. The government is supposed to have done that under the Constitution. But the Constitution was put in play without.
Including you? Including yourself? You work for the government as well.
Definitely. I'm inclusive of, I have problem with the, with the microphone. I don't know whether it's from your end or to my side, but I'm getting you clear now. Let's go ahead.
Are you hearing me? No, I was asking whether including yourself. Do you think it's a justifiable explanation that you are saying here, or is it the same sort of political correctness?
No, I would not consider it as a political correctness. As old as this country, the United States continues to make changes, on their political system and on their constitution. In Liberia, yes, indeed, Liberia is one of the oldest, independent countries in Liberia. In Africa, but we still have to make a lot of changes. We still have to make a lot of adjustments, especially so having gone through, a brutal civil war. So looking at our, political system, I won't tell you that it is perfect, and I won't tell you that it was the cause of either former government officials or so that we did not have all of these things in place. But we are working at it, and this is why, a majority of the counties came up to ask for the 7-year grace period, because with the passage of the Local Government Act, in order for you to have the establishment of a city, for instance, there had to be a criteria that ought to be met. In order for you to say, I'm going to a Banga city should have, certain things that will codify it as a city. The gas station, motel, airport, university, high school, and what have you. Those days when we create a city, I always pick a Grand Cru, and people say, well, Grand Cru is one of the perfect examples, okay, with only 2 districts, okay, with about 55,000 people that have about 35, cities, okay? It's very unrealistic. So where are the people? So now we do have what they call population requirement for a cities. Okay, in order for you to be qualified as a city, you must have at least 500 people. Okay, now so if we aggressively move to implement this law, you will almost have half of our people or more than half of our people on local government payroll out of work. Okay, so there is a reason why the grace periods were asked, and we are working on it gradually to make sure that we put all of these mechanisms in place and to make sure that when we, create a political subdivision that call a district or that call a city, and when you are driving from the highway and then say you are approaching Prebo city, okay, you will make sure that when you get there, you will have a restaurant to go eat. You will have a motel if you want to rest, and all of that.
I'm not hearing you talking about the city in Nimba County, which you are contesting for. Why are you going to Prebo?
Alfonso, I'm telling you about those areas because, to be very frank, I could call it a joke. When you look at 3 houses in a place, with fewer like 20 people, and then call it a city, and they are mainly down south. Nimba County has 6 cities. Okay, 6 cities, and all of our cities, I believe, have almost 80% of the city, requirements. Okay, you might not have airport in all of those cities, but you reach to Ganta right now, you could stay out until day and you will get everything you want. You reach to Ban, it's a scene. You go to Campley, it's a scene.
So you should be talking about airport being in Ganta instead of talking about Grand Cru. When Grand Cru have this, and what's the point of us talking about it?
In fact, we do not have a national airport in Ganta, but we do have an airstrip in Ganta that you can safely land there if you want to. And we had 2 hospitals, giant hospitals in Ganta with universities.
Now, so talk to me here. What is your own, Senator Grupee, what is your own working relationship with your colleagues? The story we kept hearing over and over in my own county, Grand Gidet as well. And this seems to be applicable to most of the county. There's a big divide. People are not coordinating. They are not having regular meetings. They are not coming to a consensus. They are not putting the agenda of the county. One lawmaker is not speaking to one another. That impedes the development progress of the county. What is your own working relationship, or how is the caucus of Nimba County is unique and different from that of others?
Right now, the caucus of Nimba County is making a big difference. But I will not tell you that Nimba County is an exception to those, divisions that you just, related to. All of our political, problems in Liberia have to do with ego. It have to do with power greed. It has to do with corruption. And I have witnessed it for myself.
Are you part of that? Are you part of any of the above that you mentioned?
Once I'm in a system, I cannot exclude myself, even if I'm trying to be a part of the solution. Okay, somebody, from my point of view, I could be, part of the solution. From somebody else's point of view, Senator Grupee could be, part of the problem. But what we are seeing in general, like for instance, when we introduce, a legislation, okay, to provide for what we call a district development funds, okay, within our, budget, that we should have a district development fund. Because when you develop a village, you develop a town, you develop a town, you develop, a district, and so forth. So what we look at, we have in Liberia what we call the County Development Fund, which happen to be $200,000 across the board, irrespective of the size of the county, the population of the county, 200,000.
Okay.
So when we look at this,
let's get it right. Are you saying is that 200,000 Nimba County receive as a development fund from national government?
Yes, that is a county development fund. And the same apply to Maserado County with a huge population. So during Speaker Eddie Tada's, turn as Speaker of the House of Representatives, we introduced a resolution, which I co-sponsor because we wanted to make it as a bill, but to first test it to see if we can stand the test of it was through the resolution.
Okay.
So the resolution was to put in. The resolution was to put in $1 million per district. We have 73 districts in Liberia that make up the country. Okay.
So let's narrow it down here. Talk to me here on your own political achievement, because your message here is directed strictly at Nimba County, where you are in a very, very tough political race. Just before coming on air, I received a call from one of your colleague who will be contesting as Representative Electorate District number 1, Jeremiah Kuhn, will be appearing here on Tuesday. In terms of your achievement, what is the piece of legislation that you can boast about with Nimbayans? Senator Grupee, this is what I did, and this is the benefit that is coming to Nimba County. Any legislation?
Yes, but before this here, I don't want to confuse my listener, because the questions that you are asking, most of the questions have to do with our national government and the reason for which we are lagging behind, as a country. Okay, how they call the imbalance in our governing system, especially that have to do with the county development funds. If you take $200,000 and put it into a Grand Gile or Grand Cru, you will see a little mark. But if you take $200,000 and put it into Nimba or Bond, it will just be a drop in the bucket. Okay, and these are some of the problems that are causing the Liberian people to have such a high expectation, and they have failure mark of all of their elected officials, that we are not meeting their expectation, that we are not just doing what we ought to do for them.
So then,
okay, if you give me $200,000,
so then,
okay, to develop,
Honorable Senator,
yes, sir.
Then fair enough. And I agree with you. Grand Gila is not as big as Mosorado County, Nimba County, and so forth, so on. That's why you guys are there. So why not come and put forward an agenda that in a legislation piece? Hey, look. Other people have 2 districts. I have 8 districts. Other people have 10 districts. So it just doesn't make sense to give me $2 and for us to share it. So why can't you guys do that? Who stopped you from doing it?
This is where I was leaning to when I told you about the resolution that we put in to put $1 million per district.
And what happened?
Because districts are closely equilibrium as compared to a county. You have a threshold of a district. Okay, so since we have 73 districts, we say, okay, let our budget, okay, be a development sensitive budget. We put in $1 million for a district. This $1 million go to district number 1 in Nimba County. That $1 million will take care of projects and what have you in district number 1. Now, since Mosorado have 17 districts, if you put $1 million per district, Mosorado will have $17 million. Since Grand Cru is the lowest that had 2 districts, if you put in $1 million per district, Grand Cru will have $2 million. If you come to, Grand Gile had 3 districts, Grand Gile will have $3 million. So Grand Gile, $3 million will quickly develop the 3 districts in Grand Gile by means of developing Grand Gile, okay, as compared to Bon County that has 7 districts.
So the question,
okay, giving them 200,000.
So the question
there is an issue that you could have a whole show on, and these are some of the fundamental issues that are really affecting our governance system in Liberia.
Do you think that's going to politically hurt you when you're talking to Nimayans to ask for an additional 9 years and giving this?
No, definitely not. These are national problems that we're all dealing with. Like I told you from the beginning,
Are they informed of are they informed of what you are telling us here? And this is where, and let me interrupt you, because this is where the bipartisanship comes in, whether you're from Unity Party, you're from Liberty Party, NDP, or whatever. The parties are in millions. I really don't care about that. But this is where the consensus building should come in for you guys to say, hey, even though I'm from X, from this end and from that end, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what our people elected of doing. But when I'm hearing this from a certain senator and maybe some other representative, I would just see it as tons of excuses, and that it might not resonate with the electors.
These are what we have not done satisfactorily in Liberia because of some unscrupulous politicians who want to be elected at all costs. Okay, and then these people go and lies to the people. If you have me elected, I will build you skyscraper. If you have me elected, I will build, the road for you. Okay, without them knowing what is allocated to that county in terms of development. So as a result, when you get elected, you have made all of these promises to the people, and the people are looking up to you to fulfill these promises where you have no funding.
Who is
to fulfill those promises?
Who is the example?
And these are the problems that we have. Now, in Nimba County, when I got elected, I told the people that I need your vote in order to serve you. And in order for us to develop our county, it is a collaborative, effort. We all have to put our effort together. But if you say that my salary should come to develop, our county, okay, I will be lying to you, because my salary cannot even build a 1 mile road. Okay. So what we are doing right now, development in Liberia on county level are mostly done as a self-help project. Okay, self-help project. And this is what I was telling you from the beginning of the show, that I have like 73, projects. Because these people are having self-help project in this Chidon. They call you there, we're building our school, we need a help. So you give them $1,000.
Who is
you go to the other area.
Who funding these projects? Is that government or you?
No, one called self-help project. These are projects that are initiated by the citizens. Okay. And I, being an elected official, I'm also a citizen and a stakeholder in Nimba County. So my people will call on me to say that we have a need here for school. The student population here has overgrown, and then with elementary and junior high, they're putting out about 5,000 or more. So this time around, we need, a high school. But government does not have the money to build a high school for the people. So the people will put a little bit of money together, $5 here, $10 here, to say, let us build a high school for ourselves. And that's a self-help project.
And you guys
then they call you, then they call you in as a senator or a representative to say, well, we are not taking the project, we will left for you to help us.
And yet you guys are writing $10,000-$15,000 fabulous paycheck from government, and these people are barely.
It is not true. I heard it once, and it cannot be verified or non-substantiated.
How much?
My salary had never reached 10,000 since I went in the Liberian Senate.
How much do you make?
My salary had never reached $10,000.
Do you care to share with us?
We had incentives. Even most of our incentives have been cut down when we have the harmonization. Okay, we came down even to like $7,000.
$7,000.
Okay. And most of our incentives are being cut down, like $2,500 gasoline were cut down to $1,250.
Do you think,
irrespective of the country that you're from? Okay, we had tons of problems in Liberia. I will not sit here and tell you, because I'm seeking re-election, to tell you that I could solve this problem. One of the problems that we have in Liberia, we have not been sincere to ourselves, to face the people and tell the people that, look, we have problems on hand, and the only way that we will get rid of corruption, or that we will minimize corruption, is to be fair to ourselves, to put a cow before the horse, to say that this is the way that we have things done.
Okay. Let me bring
otherwise politician will always be corrupt. I'm telling you today, having to be what Sunday. If I were in Liberia now, from 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday, Saturday, I will have people already, packed to my house, waiting for handout.
Yeah, because
and they are right to do so because of the hardship.
Yeah, you guys created the situation.
Yes, I do agree with you. But there are, there are one apple that spoiled a whole bunch of apples. These are the unscrupulous politicians that go around there showering the people with money, for time for election, giving them, handouts and telling them, say, vote for me, I will do this for you. And after voting for them, you will never see them back.
Who are those politicians referring to?
I mean, I'm generalizing it because there are too many, and I cannot pinpoint at it. Besides that, just the issues that you and I just talked about. Politicians going back to the people, telling them during election time, when I get elected, I will come and build you a library. I will come and build you a school. I will come and build you there. And you don't even know the salary for the job that you are going into.
It seems to me
and you're making all of these promises.
It seems to me you are referring to Senator Darrell Dillon. Yeah, he has made
No. ADD is not the only one. He just came and met me in the Senate.
But he wanted to.
But what I'm saying,
he wanted those.
If you have to do so, you will always be a liar. You will always be a failure. So it has made most of us, to be considered a liar by our people.
Okay, let's come back home here a little bit. I want you to get your message, like I said, to the Nimbaians, because they're going to be making a consequential decision when it comes to December 8th, if the day still remain on course. You were talking about your legislation. I don't want you to forget.
When it comes to legislation, it is, even though it is not one of the, big issues that our people grade are on, but I helping me sponsor, or to co-sponsor the Decent Work Bill. The Decent Work Bill, when I was co-chair to Senator Matthew J., on labor, we work on the Decent Work Bill. And today, Liberia can be proud of a work bill that is providing, a decent and protective, work for our, skilled labor and unskilled labor in Liberia. Okay, also, I was just telling you about the Local Government Act. I'm a co-sponsor of the Local Government Act. The Local Government Act, if fully implemented, it will alleviate most of our governing, problems. For instance, we will have, administrative decentralization, where you will not have just one Ministry of, Public Work built in Monrovia and taking care of the entire county. Maryland County will have its own Department of Public Work. And so do with all of the other counties. Then we have, education, the Ministry of Education. One of the serious, problematic ministry we have is the Ministry of Education with payroll padding, and ghost name.
What are you doing to resolve that?
What we're doing there is with the decentralization. If administrative decentralization, you will have a Department of, education right in Grand Bassa that will take care of the hiring and firing of teachers, and the payment of teachers. Teachers will not have to come to Monrovia to get their pay. They will have to stay right in Bassa. And when, for instance, a teacher got dismissed, that teacher will be removed from a payroll in less than 2 weeks, and the replacement will be able to go on payroll. That is not the system we have right now, because the system is so centralized. When a teacher is, dismissed or deceased, that teacher name might stay on payroll for, for a whole year or 2 years. We have the same system with the CIA, The civil servant agency still have people on their payroll from 3-4 years ago. And we want to bring new people in, like right now for the committee that I'm heading. the Committee on Security, when we went to DEA, we have shortage of manpower. We want to deploy people all over the borders, you know, and what have you. Okay, but because of the old names, we cannot put people there. Those are some of the legislation that I believe if our people do understand, you know, the intricacy and the benefit of those legislation, they should know that some of all are there that are working for them. I came also and introduced, you know, a legislation that will create a overlay. Okay, like what you have SUV lane, like what we have in this country in a crowded city. Okay, Monrovia is overcrowded.
Where were you then let me hold you there. Yeah, we were talking here that we do not have, government does not have the money, like you alluded, to even to meet part of the government's requirement where these local municipal group or government should elect their people, and you telling me about having overlaying. So do you agree with me that government is incomplete because when the citizen cannot allow themselves, the citizens are not allowed to elect people, and you still have the executive branch of government to supersede? It gives them extraordinary power.
Well, it is issues that we have been struggling with, and we will continue to struggle with this issue until we come up with the reality. We come to grip with the reality.
I want you to look at a question on the screen here from one of our onliners, Newton Gay, asking, did you keep your promise to the people of Nimba County?
It depends on what promise you're talking about. They promise to provide, you know, better school system. They promise to provide, you know, better healthcare system. They promise to have road connectivities. These are promises that are still ongoing, and that is why we're asking for a second term, because most of the promises that we made to the people, we were able to achieve, you know, some of those promises, but some have not yet, you know, been achieved, and some are ongoing. We have unfinished projects that are in the middle of finishing, and for first term, it is not enough, okay, to finish these kind of projects. That is why we are going back to our people. At least we're going back to them with tangible that we have done XYZ. So we made promises, but we have met at least 60% of the promises, and we are asking you to please give us a second term so that we will be able to complete, you know, the balance 40%.
So the 9 year was insufficient in your word.
It was definitely inadequate to finish in. Yes.
Is that an argument you're going to be taking to Nimba County?
That's one of the arguments. You know, Alfonso, you don't know me. When I don't eat crab with Sheen, and I will not come lying to you because, you know, because I want your vote. I will have to tell you the truth and draw line, you know, between myself and the others. If Liberian people think that you will have a magic bullet to come and solve all of their economical, you know, political and social problems, you are deceiving yourself. It will not happen. Okay, we have to come to, you know, to grip with the reality and then work at it. Okay, and besides that, Liberians have got the idea of the dependency syndrome. That Uncle Sam will come and build it for all. The international community will bring this money for all. Okay, and because of this kind of issue or the attitudes, it has caused us to be somehow lazy. Okay, nobody is going to do it for you better than yourself, and that is why I prioritize, you know, self-help projects.
Okay, let's do it quickly here so we can get a few questions here before we wrap it up here. You are currently on the security of a National Security Committee in the Senate, right?
Right. I'm the chair.
You're the chair. Okay. During the recent COVID-19, and fair to say you are out of the country, are you in touch with your colleagues? Because a lot of images been coming from that. A lot of people were brutalized by the security apparatus. and there was others saying there was no sufficient, awareness, in the executions and the security of the state of emergency. Are they briefing you while you are away from the city? Your colleagues or your co-chair, are they providing you information?
Yeah. I'm very much in contact with my colleagues on the ground. The security committee is one of the bigger committees that we have in the Liberian Senate. We had two, what we call national committees. These two committees having to be the finance and budget and the security committee that have 15 members, meaning one member from each county. And I have 4, co-chair. Okay, Senator Wisse, Senator Steve Zago, who is an expert on security, Senator Janita Kapi, and all of these guys. They have better expertise in security than I do because I'm from a, business background, accounting background. Okay, so I was in constant communication with them and even calling, on local radio stations in the county to warn our security apparatus that you are there to alleviate problem from the people, not to add on to their problem. Okay, so yes, there was a lot of confusion in the execution of the state of emergency, but quickly it was brought under control and we took seize of it. And while I am here, Senator Komini Wisse and myself most of the time get online to see how best we could help. And more frequently, we call on the police director of the RMP and, other securities heads to brief us on a constant basis, and then also have consultation. Our work not only to confirm, the presidential, nominees, but also to work along with them, providing, legislation, providing remedies where they have, no way of moving out to make sure that we ease problem for them to function.
Okay. So this question coming from O'Neill, and based on what I'm hearing from you from a business background, do you see yourself being misplaced on that committee?
No, I'm not misplaced. This is why you have 15 members of the committee. You are not there to be a specialized person on the committee. I am there to provide administrative work. Well, I am there to provide oversight, of those agencies that I work with.
All right.
I had never wore uniform before, so I would not call myself.
Yeah,
I'm there. At least from the business background, I know about management. I know, how to put your man in order.
Okay, I like honest politicians like you. Are you still willing to cut more of what you earned right now, maybe something much lower or within $5,000? If there was any piece of bill or if anybody were pushing that agenda, will you concur with that person?
If the situation, requires that, and only if.
Why if?
That's going to solve our problem. And let me tell you in a very honest manner, Alfonso, that will not solve our problem. Okay? The whole salary, you're looking at it to be like 10% of our budget.
So then talk to me now, Senator. What do you think going to solve the problem?
What going to solve the problem is for us to be honest to ourselves and with the people. One of the serious problems we have, the illiteracy rate, until we create an avenue to educate our people in all sectors. Even according to the Constitution is supposed to be taught in school for people to know, how to basically interpret the Constitution, but that has not been done. So now, the expectation of the people are so high. And with this huge expectation from our business, perspective, once you have such a huge expectation, it will be difficult, for you to be satisfied. And that is the problem that Liberia has. Liberia being one of the oldest countries, we expect that we should have almost everything done, and then we should be one of the developing countries and what have you. But no, that is a myth.
Okay,
we are way down to the bottom.
All right. Before I bring people to ask questions yet again, any three cardinal reasons for which you are asking the Nimayans to give you 9 more years? Is there any, or what is your agenda in the second term? Like you said, the 9 year is insufficient, and I understand that sometimes. When I came to the country at 2003, now if I count the year, it's just unbelievable. So I understand where you're coming from, right? What are the reasons? What you are now banking on? What is your agenda for which you want the Mayans to?
One of the reasons, as I told you from the beginning, when I came to the Liberian Senate, I was a freshman senator. I did not have the influence and the knowledge that I have today. I didn't have, the knowledge of legislative politics. Okay, how to navigate yourself, how to maneuver. I did not have that. Today, I'm well equipped. I have the influence. I have the, technical know-how when it comes to politics. So I can actually do.
Is that now you get a technical know-how or before?
I mean, when I say now, I haven't been there for 8.5 years. Okay, I can reasonably get things done for my county. Like what I was telling you about, the county development fund. As long as we stuck with this $200,000, the county development fund for all counties.
But you didn't.
The largest county will always suffer. You will not go nowhere.
And I agree. Nimba is a huge country, and you were senator.
Yes.
You and your colleagues did not do anything to elevate that amount. You did not put forward anything. You did not lobby.
In my geodiet, they have a saying that before the child asks the mother for a corner, you should make sure that she have it. Okay, I cannot go right now, and ask President Weah government to say, giving so $1 million to go and develop my county.
Why?
Okay, when I know that they don't have.
Why?
Okay?
Why they do not have? Why you think they do not have?
They do not have because of mismanagement.
Who is
most of our problem in our country have to do a lot more with mismanagement.
On the part of who?
On
the part of who? Who is mismanaging?
On the part of the government.
Who makes the government?
The people makes the government.
Is that
but there are representatives of the people that are put in charge. I was elected to represent the interests of my people.
Is that a president managing the government?
On all levels.
The president?
On especially the two political branches, of the government has to be blamed for mismanagement.
Okay.
When you pass a budget and then just within a very short time you have a budget shortfall. What budget, lands are allocated for cannot be met. Okay?
So
it is mismanagement. Mismanagement is in lots of form.
Okay, let's get it right here, Senator. Is the executive branch of government and the legislative branch of government mismanaged, correct?
Yeah, those are the two how they call political branches of government.
Okay, since I do not have the time to speak with the executive branch and I'm speaking with members of the legislative branch of government, do you think on the basis of that, the first 8 years you mismanaged here, do you think you need to go?
The more you stay in, the better you get to know. And, I am telling you in a very sincere manner, when I went in first, from a business, point of view, you have to analyze the problem. Then, before you come up with a solution, you cannot just go and then think that you could come up with a solution if you first, do not analyze your problem to know what your problem is. Right now, I believe I have got a better sense of the problems that Liberia is faced with.
So,
and for my second term, I will be well equipped to help, at least to straighten out some of those problems.
Do you sometimes question the budget when it comes from the office of the executive, the lawmakers in general?
Oh, sure. Otherwise, we will not be having budget hearing. We do question.
Why the short force comes into play? If you can question, if you question it and it's well explained, then why the short force always coming into play?
Because you will not foresee that this, whatever that it is explained on paper might not be the reality. Okay, when you are looking at core revenue, when you are looking at projection, when you are looking at expected, revenue generation from the National Port Authority, okay, for instance, you will not dive into the detail to say, well, we are looking at X number of ships to come in this year, therefore this year should be scrutinized in this way. So heavily when we talk about mismanagement of the budget or of the economies, it is heavily from the side of the executive. But we also have a responsibility because we are the custodian of the state that's supposed to provide oversight, okay, to the executive. If we can call them quickly.
Are you providing that oversight now?
We're providing the oversight. We're providing the oversight, but maybe our oversight had not been gracious enough, and then we are getting the executive to get away, okay, with a lot of issues. Now, one of those problems having to be legislators who are not very open with the system. And this is why some of us who have not got the experience asking our people, please let me stay for one more term. I think I can make a very big difference and better difference than when I first went in.
I think it's uncertainty. You're not sure?
Well, my re-election?
No, you say you think you can make a difference. So there's an uncertainty right there. You are not still sure. Do you think your job is at stake?
No, there's nothing really. I will not speak like God. I don't know if I could even leave my living room right now and just drop over there with the coronavirus. Everything going around. So
we still need our leaders around. Do you think your job is at stake, Senator?
No, my job is not at stake. My people of Nimba County, I have built a relationship with my people, and my people love me. I love them. I have been very honest with them. In Nimba County, I have two nicknames. They call me, mobile senator, because I have visited the land and bread. Mobile senator. I'm always on the wheel, visiting, from one district to another. And they also call me senator without border, even though we don't have border in Nimba. But I visit everywhere. There is nowhere that is off limit. Whether it's a Madingo, area, whether it is a Mano sector or Geo sector, I visit everywhere. There is nowhere that is off limit for me. I have built such a strong relationship with my people, and I believe, God willing, they will give me the second chance.
If Liberia Public Radio was to organize a debate here with you and your colleagues, are you willing to participate?
Of course. Definitely. I have nothing to hide. I have a record to run on and not to run from. Every record that I have provided for myself, you ask me on it, I will defend it. So why should I dodge, a debate?
Okay.
There will be areas that I will showcase and then, set myself, different from mine, some of my colleagues.
Okay. The guy who wants your job, Senator Representative of Electorate District Number 1, Jeremiah Kuhn, will be here on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Let me tell you about my nephew, Jeremiah Kuhn. I will try to watch the show. But right now, Jeremiah Kuhn should be very sincere to himself and then has sympathy on the country, despite the fact that the Constitution gave him the right. We cannot even meet our census, which is required by law, by the Constitution, that we should have it every 10 years. We have gone 12 years without census. We cannot even have our by-election on time. We have one by-election that just occurred by the sudden death of my dear friend, Nimba Slaw. We don't even know if we're going to have that by-election to be here. The election this year, there is still uncertainty whether if we are going to meet, this other new deadline, which is to have it on the 15th, on the 8th of December. Okay? All of that is because of money. We have problem with money. So now, why create more by-elections? when our forefather put the Constitution together and then said that there should be a by-election in the case of incapacitation, resignation, or death, they were not thinking about man-made by-elections. So if you have 15 senators going to, election, and you have 22 representatives that, fighting for that seat, while they still have, 4 years or 3 years on their term, if all of them, if 15 of them having to be successful, you will have to go and then have 15 by-elections. Do Liberia have money to go through that? It will be compounding the problem. We do not want that to happen. The president called every one of us, okay, over to Rawasi, Fenton Hotel, and beg us, gentlemen, no artificial by-election, no man-made by-election. Stay to where you are, except it is actually required.
That was
our people elected my nephew, Representative Kun, for 12 years. That's his second term he's going for. Please stay and finish that second term. Then you can come now. You want your uncle's seat, you can get it. Okay? But we do not want by-election. Liberia does not have money to go through, man-made by-election.
These are some chilling revelations I'm getting here. This seems to be like an inside information that we are hearing there, and certainly the election might probably not go ahead. And other critics might say, "Oh, Senator Grupee is crying political cry because he's coming to a Waterloo in his political career because maybe Kun will defeat him."
No, Kun is not even close to defeating me. Like I told you, I have built, a relationship with my people. I control a county. Kun control a district. I am familiar with my people, in my country. I'm a traditionalist. I live the tradition and practice it. The people love me. I go to election anytime. I will, prevail. If I don't want to serve the people of Liberia, Nimba County, I will tell them in a very sincere manner. This is why I said that our big brother, our senior senator, our political godfather should step aside and allow the people of Nimba County to make their choice among the sons and daughters that are running. They are very much familiar with our records. They know all. When it comes to local election in Liberia, it's not party politics. Okay, party politics have very less to play with local elections. Because they vote for the individual.
Yeah.
They're looking at our records. So my nephew, Representative Kun, and myself going to election, I have nothing to worry about.
Okay,
but I'm talking about the national interest. Okay. We do not have money to go to, artificial by-election or man-made by-elections.
Okay, before we take
be a very bad precedent.
Thank you so much, Senator. Before we take few questions here. Now, my understanding you stay with Unity Party, correct?
Yeah, I'm still with Unity Party.
And Unity Party is part of the joint
collaborating political party.
So my understanding here, please get it right for me, because I yet to see or to authenticate that information. No one from the CPP side or has confirmed that is real. I learned CPP Nimba County is being they divided themselves into column, and Nimba force with what, ANC? Is that ANC taking?
Yeah, it was with ANC, but ANC gave it up.
ANC, so give it up to who?
ANC gave it up by to the collaborating political party to decide.
To decide.
So now,
okay, hold on one second. You from Unity Party, Ide Gonglo Ware from Liberty Party, Tab Wongbe from the ANC. Does that mean you're going to be a primary or what?
Well, I don't know. Like you say, I left Liberia in March. I left from there before the formation of the collaborating, political party. So even though I have been briefed and then, been reading what unfolding on the ground, but I was not there to form a part of the collaborating political party, the CPP. I am a Unity Party partisan as you stated on earlier when we started the interview, Unity Party has its own problem, ranging from political, problem to that of the impeachment of former Justice Kabina, where Unity Party took a decision under the former, the chairman of Women Pay, to suspend all of eight senators. Okay, and I was, among that. I got mad. I said on that day that I was going to resign, from Unity Party instead of submitting myself, to a committee. Okay, after being suspended, which does not give you due process. It is other way around. Have me investigated and then suspend me if you find wrongdoing, then to suspend me before asking me to submit myself to investigation.
Okay,
but those are now water under the bridge. We have settled all of those differences, and I am back, with my political party. I was in Liberia. I have a health issue. I came down for a treatment. Unfortunately, I arrived here on the 12th, and by the 15th, the whole country shut down. My problem was considered to be elective. They could not deal with it until just about 2 weeks ago. So I am prepared, energetic, and ready to go to head back to Liberia. Whatever arrangement that they have on the ground, if the collaborating political party going to consider me as their candidate in Nimba County, surely I will deliver Nimba County to the CPP. When you go to a football game and you want to win, you go in there with the objective of winning. And in order for you to win, you have to carry your best player. And Tom Senator Grupee is the best player in Nimba County. If you leave me to go for anybody, hey.
Okay.
Bless you.
Yeah, this is a question I was coming to, and then Umar came, but I'm not going to be judgmental. I'm going to paraphrase this question here. Do you care to share it? Now you brought in Josh Janet. I will not be judgmental here in his question. Let me just paraphrase it. Do you care to share with us how did your vote go when it came to removing Kabina Janet?
How did my vote go in terms of what?
You voted for or against?
There was 4 counts, and each of the count was impeachable. I voted for a count that I consider to be not convincing as a juror of facts. I voted for a count that I found to be more convincing. But let me say this. I was just on a local radio station in Nimba. Justice Kabina, a former Justice Kabina, he is a student of law, and having been a Chief Justice, Associate Justice of Liberia, knows exactly how to analyze, the issues. There is a constitution, there's a provision within the constitution that speaks to impeachment. He came up right after the impeachment and gave an interview and said that Senator Grupee and Senator Prince Johnson, who are both senators from Nimba County, should not be blamed. He said the forces that work against me was more than them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Okay.
So my question is, there are 4 counts. Let's break it down. There are 4 counts. How many votes do you? I just want to. Is that yes to my question or no?
It is not of the above, because we have 30 senators and require 2/3 of the senator vote to impeach, and the senator got 2/3. In fact, they got more than 2/3 because there was 22 senators who voted for either of the count to convict.
All right, let's take a few questions here, and then we will let you go. And anytime, just let us know. But before I open that up, do you have specific word to the electors of Nimba County that are listening now. Radio, TV, DTV of Nimba County is relaying according to our understanding. Probably I did not ask. Probably I did not ask specific question. I want to give you the opportunity again. Do you have specific word message for which, like you are asking now, that the people of Nimba County again should empower you for the next 9 years? Any message to that before I bring the question?
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, Alfonso. Let me, first and foremost, say many thanks to my people of Nimba County that afforded me the opportunity to serve them in the
already. No, I said,
okay.
Go ahead, make your point, Senator.
Okay, and also let me thank, my brothers and sisters that living here in the diaspora that worked immensely to have me, elected in the first place, because it was through their phone calls, to their relatives that they always send money grant, a Western Union to that have me, elected. I am appealing to my people of Nimba County to carry me for the second term for the fact that we have started a job. Nimba is a very great county. Nimba is so resourceful. Nimba, like you said when you started this, interview, that no, president have been elected in Liberia without the support of Nimba County. We cannot always be the kingmaker and don't sit on the king table. This time around, I think that we can change that. With my re-election, we will make sure that we have a meeting that called Nimba, stakeholder meetings, that we will invite our citizens from the diaspora to join us to set Nimba agenda, to make sure that Nimba County will not be giving a vote, for bag of rice. Okay. To make sure that if we do give our vote to any political party, or presidential candidate, Nimba County will benefit from that vote. Take, CDC won Nimba County with the help of Senator Prince Johnson introducing, President Weir, then George Weir, to Nimba County, okay, to vote for him. But what have we got under this particular regime? We have one pitiful ministry. The population of Nimba County is more than the 5-county population in the southeast. But all the jobs, almost 60 to 70% of the jobs, is to the southeasterner. Nimba County have one pitiful ministry, which is Post and Telecom. Okay, we want to change that. So my first thing, if I am re-elected or when, because I really believe in my people and I have confidence in them, we will have Nimba County stakeholder meeting where we will invite our citizens from the diaspora and we will set Nimba agenda. Nimba will not just be the kingmaker, we have to sit on the king table, or we will be the king.
All right.
That's one of the things. And the second thing, for Nimba, our resources we cannot be the dump truck that build a mansion and don't park, in the front of the mansion. Nimba, it is Nimba Iron Ore that's building Liberia or that building the world. Why is it that we are not benefiting from it as we should? That have to change, and we all change because of the Nimba, citizen meeting that I'm calling for.
Okay. In the last 9 years, you did not call it. You're not calling it for the next 9 years. Let's go to
Senator Prince Johnson. Senator Prince Johnson is a senior senator, and he is the chairman of the caucus.
Okay, let's go to our lines.
I cannot do more than my political leader.
Okay. I want you to take note of the questions. I'm going to be going to the phone lines. They're going to be asking their question, and I will give you the opportunity to respond. Okay, so let me come to the lines here. Please make the questions very brief and concise so that we can accommodate as much as we can. Let me go to Phoenix, Arizona, where George Lobo is standing by. Mr. Lobo, are you there?
I'm right here, Mr. So.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome.
Good afternoon. I want to say good afternoon to your studio guest, Mr. Senator Grupee.
Thank you very much for
Well,
coming. Let's get to the point real quick. I just wanted to say to the honorable senator that I'm not only disappointed in him as a Liberian, but as a partisan. For him to have served 9 years, 8 years plus, and to come on this show today and can't even state for the fact some of his major accomplishments as a lawmaker. He even said, giving his own statement about oversight, that the executive have been allowed to get away. Well, then why do we need you when your job was to exercise oversight so they don't get away? So you have not done your job. In terms of lawmaking, for 8 years, you do not point at 2 bills or pieces of legislation that you either was able to pass that impacted the life of the people of Nimba. But let me say this to you, Honorable Senator. Not only that you have been very dishonest to the Liberian people, the fact that you could not answer simple questions straight up with facts. You were asked if you voted for the impeachment of Justice Johnny. You play around it and give excuses. The reason you got suspended was on the basis that you voted for it. And you need to be very honest here. In as much as I live and grew up in Ghana, I will say this to you. The people of Nimba deserve better. And I think 8 years that you were given the opportunity to serve, you have not done anything that warrants you to go back. But here's my question to you. You talk about funding. You stated that the county get $200,000, which of course that is not the truth, Honorable Senator. Why didn't you tell the people today how much Nimba received from its social development fund from Acel, Minta, and different organizations in the county? And what have that money been used for? Can you tell the people today? And what have you done with regards to the county development fund that the people receive? Because all the development you point out, you talk about individual development. Tell us what the county development fund have been used for. My second question is,
George Global.
Let me finish on this point, so please, my last question.
Go ahead quickly.
The Honorable Senator said that he do review the budget when you ask him. I want the senator to tell us, how is it that you review the budget when you look at the need of Nimba County, Ganta United Methodist Hospital being one of the largest hospitals in the county? How is it you start there and allow government to cut funding for the hospital? Today the hospital is struggling. Can you tell us if you really saw the budget?
Okay.
Those are my 2 questions.
Okay, thank you so much.
I want you to be honest.
All right, I'm going to let you go. Let me, Senator, let me make the answer question. I will give you the opportunity, or you want to respond?
Okay.
Yeah, just take note of the question. Okay, 612 number 9634. Please make it a little concise and go strictly to the question. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ben, and I'm calling from Minnesota. I want to say thanks to the senator. So, the senator was not able to tell us how much he is making. So I am going to assume. Let's assume with all of his benefits and everything, he is making $10,000 out of his 9 years. Let's agree that he got $90,000. That's now he is saying to us that he did not understand being a senator until 8.5 years. So if I must go by his logic, he is telling the Liberian people that all of these 30 senators who have not done anything, they themselves will also come with the same justification. So it means that before Liberia can move ahead with
Ben, go straight to the question. Ben.
All right.
Will you ask your question? There are other people calling. Go straight to the question, please.
Okay. Mr. Senator, I want him to justify the amount of money that he is making,
okay, as
opposed to how much teachers make in Nimba County.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Okay.
You want
everybody cut off. People ask you, go to your questions. You can be judgmental. Questions is questioned. Let me go to this. Caller, are you there? Caller, are you there? Hello, are you there? Oh God. Hello, 6302 number, are you there? Why is I'm not even getting their caller again? Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead quickly to your question, please. Just go strictly to the question.
So my name is Takpor Mambia, and since I'm from Nimba, can you just let me to just say a few things to the honorable?
Oh, sure, yeah, from Nimba. Yeah, go ahead.
I call from Derry, New Hampshire. Honorable Thomas Grupee, my name is Takpor Mambia. I'm a citizen of Nimba County, and I just have a few questions for you. Is a follow-up on one of the things that George Lobo said. My first question would be, are you aware that the budgetary allotment for Ganta Methodist Hospital and G.W. Halley Hospital in Seneca was significantly cut? Are you also aware that a single citizen, a private healthcare center of an individual who is the president of Honorable Jeremiah Kuhn, receives more budgetary allotment than any government hospital in Nimba County? Are you aware of that? That's number one. Number two, Senator Grupee, you've been in power for 9 unbroken years. What is it that you can tell the Nimba County people straight up front in 5 minutes that you achieve for which you want us to re-elect you to the Senate? You voted against your own son of Nimba County to be removed from the bench of the tell the people of Nimba County what you did. Today, the road going to Tapeta, to your home district of Tapeta, people are being told in Hamburg, and pregnant women are being carried on motorcycle to that place. As you may be aware, the funding and everything for that road was secured. What have you done on that road? Okay. What in heaven have you done for 9 unbroken years that you want the Nimba County people to vote for you? Just tell us in 5 straight minutes. That's my question to Senator Grupee. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me go to the senator. I don't want to, I want to give you the opportunity to answer to some of these questions. Honorable Senator, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Alfonso, I'm there.
Okay, go ahead.
First and foremost, Alfonso, let me tell you this. I'm not one of those politicians that beat around the bush, nor to pretend. Somebody asked about my 9 years in the Liberian Senate and the 10,000 I made, about 90,000, I mean, $900,000, whatever. My salary, you live in this particular developed country. You don't pay somebody here in order for the person to take that money to go and develop, a country or a county. My salary is not to develop Nimba County. My salary is for my family and myself. Like I'm here for healthcare reason. I'm paying, for my, hospitalization. That is from my salary. I do carry on what we call self-help projects. And I told you I have about 83. This show will not give her enough time for me to name all of my 83 projects here. But let me give you some of the top. We and Doru, which is in electoral district number 9 and statutory district number 6. Okay, Tapeta district. I built, a high school that cost $122,000. We and Doru have petitioned the city, government to detach from, Nimba County and then be honest to River Says, because they said that they have been marginalized. Okay, B and Doru was attached to Nimba County by Bagley in 1937. They made a very strong case because they had nothing in B and Doru other than hunting, elephant or cutting timber. I convinced the people of B and Doru. We went there and had a meeting. And I said, what is your priority number 1? They said that we want school. We want high school. When our children graduate from high school, or from elementary school year or junior high, they have to go to Tapeta to go to high school, or they have to go to River Says. So I told them, I will give you all the high school. We built a high school there now. It's in Grantown. Go to Grantown. The high school is there. It is very tangible. Okay. In Campley, district number 3, the chief and elders, they wanted to be dignified. They had no place to hold their meetings. Okay. They asked me, I gave them $1,000 after the election for them to go back out, and marry me. They told me, say, no, Senator, we have better needs here than to go, jail have fees. They $1,000, we want you to make it up so that we will build our chief and elder compound. Okay. I agree with them. I made our money up to $3,000, and then we went and broke ground for Chief and Elder compound that was supposed to be built, with dead block. Lucky for all, when we introduced the first, legislation for community development fund, district development fund, they gave me, money. My first $68,000 I received, I went and put it behind that project. And today you have a decent Chief and Elder compound built in, Campley City. They are very proud of it. You can go there now. It is very tangible. It is Honorable Joseph Nimba as Vice President who went and dedicated our project. You come down to, Weebiatu. I built a Palava hut for the people of Weebiatu that cost $45,000. Right now, we are doing the finishing, like painting, and the floor. Very decent building. I say I have building all over, projects all over the place. We build, school. We build clinics. We build clinics for the people in how they call, anyway, so many places. We extended the clinic in, Toy Star, okay? In Bode. The clinics in Bode have only one little room for midwives. Okay, when you have 5 pregnant women waiting to be delivered, and one in there, the other people lying down on the floor crying. When I went there, they took me there. I saw the place. I took $1,000 and gave it down. I said, y'all build a block right now. I will build a place and finish it. Those are some of the achievements. Don't just sit here and, just pass judgment. Go on the ground. Ask anybody. I defy any lawmaker before me, okay, and presently serving. No lawmaker have more projects in Nimba County than Tom Grupee, okay? I spend my money back to the people, but I'm not forced to spend it. It is my salary. It is for me and my family. Secondly, George asks a loaded questions, okay? The problem that we have in Liberia, we have not been very factual with the people. You could be disappointed in me, but should I sit here and lie to you, say, I may ask, we had too many laws on the book. The implementations of those laws have been the problem, okay? Not that we don't have laws. We have laws, and we don't have enough time on this show. I used to come here and then ask Eula to provide a platform for me to brief the Liberians in this country. It could take a whole day. I could brief you on some of what we have done. Then don't say that I have not passed a legislation. I told you that I co-sponsored 2 bills. I have co-sponsored so many bills, but I'm just talking about these 2, the Decent Work Act and the how they call Local Government Act. Okay, so you can't say that I have not done anything and you're disappointed in me. In this country, you have lawmakers in this country that have been in the Senate for 30 some more years. Okay, why? Because they bring, the longer they stay there and the more experienced they are, the better they become, the more influential they become to provide for their people. One of the problems we have, when they did a statistic, NDR, okay, the National Institute for Democracy did a statistic in West Africa. Liberia is the least in terms of election, electing, their lawmaker. Okay? So we always bring in freshmen. We always bring in people who say, oh, we will do better for you than this. My brother who called from New Hampshire, that from Nimba County. Nimba County, gained her county started in 1964. Let me ask you the question. I'm the one who been senator there all this time. Why Nimba County road from Ganta to Grand Gila had not been paid? Is that Tom Grupee 9 years that's supposed to build it? We should be sincere to ourselves. Otherwise, we will just bring crooks, we will bring liars. Every time when they go there and promise the people, they will not deliver on anything. Right now, the road has been signed for, okay? From Ganta to Zedro. Chico is a company that is undertaking that construction right now. but we've been meeting with problem challenges. Okay? The first 2 loans that we signed for to do the coastal road, the Obama loan, you know, that we signed for, that was supposed to do, and the Elton loan, that was total $1 billion under this particular regime. Because of that loan, those guys, when they started doing a whole lot of what they have to do or whatever, that loan, those 2 loans did not come through. It came a time that the U.S. government and the World Bank said that the loan was a hoax. So we could not do the road with those loans.
You agree with that?
So now we have a new loan and a new contract has been signed, okay? And the contract is being carried on by Chico, the same company that built the road from Banga to Ganta is the company that is responsible. It is through my advocacy as a legislators, okay, that we're doing that. So you cannot come here and then somebody talk about Kabina, you know, impeachment. Kabina said that we are not. And besides that, let me ask you, are you against corruption? If you send me in a house as a lawmaker and we have it inscribed in the Constitution that any, you know, appointed judge or judges that having to go beyond the band to commit XYZ crime should be impeached. Because you're from a county, if you're having to commit or act, I should let you go free. We are not be corrupt. Okay? Is that what you want me to do? Kabina as a judge, when he was serving as a justice of Liberia, I could not commit a crime and then go before him and say, because he's my Nimba County brother, you will let me go scot-free. Then he is not a good judge. Okay. And I cannot tell you, it is my constitutional right not to tell you how I vote. I voted looking at the evidence that were presented to me. And that case in question, it was presided over by whom? The Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia from where? Nimba County. Chief Justice Francis Kopo, who guarded the law and provide for, you know, what we call due process. So I was just a juror.
All right. So, Senator,
thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. And before I go to the few callers, since you are here, if you wish, well, that's why we are here for Liberia Public Radio. We do not preach innuendos or this sort of soundbite. If you want to have a town hall meeting with your Nimbayans, yet maybe to go much in depth, let us know. We will also create that conversation, not just only Nimaya, the Liberian people. Okay, let me go.
Myself have been in a year before. I live here for 20 some more years.
Yeah, let me go to this number here quickly. Caller, please. He was responding. 770 number to 9094. Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Thank you for holding on that.
So that's okay. This is Cindy, and I'm going to calmly say this. Thank you so much for bringing Senator Grupee on so we can have this conversation and also hear where he's been, where he's been for the past 9 years and what he's done for Liberia. Not just Nimba County, but Liberia. The reason I'm saying this is collectively the decision have been made affect all of us, all candidates. So we all must be concerned about his contribution, especially being a senator, and there are only 30 of them.
Okay, hold on.
They get to sign up on all the things that are happening in Liberia. Senator Grupee, let me say thank you for availing yourself to come on this platform. But here's my question to you. You spoke about the budget and blaming the president. According to our Constitution, you, the people of the Senate, or the lawmakers have oversight. It is your duty to know that Liberia can or cannot afford how much money that it can dish out or what contract that is signed. Now, I'm not sure my phone is
somebody. Hold on, somebody else is on. Please lower your monitor because it's coming right back to me. You who watching, please lower your monitor. Go ahead,
Yeah, thank you so much. It's kind of confusing me, like I'm hearing myself. Okay, so my question to you is, after 4 years of budget shuffle, meaning that you are an accounting, I believe you're an accounting, you understand that budget is based on forecast. but also based on your past performances to see if that can fit in. Do you think Liberia can afford to pay what she pays the lawmaker, the judiciary, and executive, and be able to progress or survive? That's one of my question. The second question is, do you think as a senator you have fulfilled your constitutional duty of Article 6 of the Constitution? We speak to the education of the masses, free education, and then the free education act that was passed in 2017 by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf that every child should be in school. Have you fulfilled that? Then my third question is, and we need you back here because there's so many questions I need to be asked after 9 years. My question, and the next one is, when you took over the children today, 9 years ago, those that were 14, if you were in America where you literally grew up or you lived all of your life or your adult life, the children would be now in their 20s. They would have been out of college because 3 years later, they would be out of high school. 4 years later, they would be out of college before the opportunity was provided and we voted for you to go and provide. Now, they will be planning their lives at this point. Do you think you've made that impact? In fact, the things that you learned from abroad, because you spoke of the Senate here, we don't mind, you spoke of the Senate here, we vote our senators out who do not perform, and we keep those that we did that during the just last November.
Okay,
so answer those 3 questions for me. And Mr. Shaw, please bring him back if you can.
Oh no, he's right yet, so we can do it. Maybe in like a town hall start to give him the opportunity that he said. So any of that, not only here, as long as they are waiting, willing, that we can do that. All right, thank you. Let me go to the next question.
Finally, don't call me up here, Mr. Grupee. I would like to invite you to my platform so we can have this conversation.
Okay.
You can inbox me, or I will inbox you if you were very successful. We can have this conversation.
Sure, definitely.
All right, thank you.
Definitely.
So much. Okay. Okay, let me go to this person here, and then we'll give the senator the chance to respond to the number. Please, caller, please lower your monitor. You can be listening at the same time and be, doing it. Let me go to this number here, 862 number 3723. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you so much, Afonso. My name is Melinson Yadro from New Jersey. I am an Nimbanian, specifically from District Number 8 in Nimba County.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
I got two concerns for the senator in studio. One is, he said he sponsored a decent work bill in Liberia. I am speaking specifically as a former employee of Firestone Plantation Company. I worked for Firestone Engineering Department for 9 years before coming to the United States. You talk about you sponsor a decent web bill in Liberia. In that decent web bill, it says that the Liberian that work for private sector in Liberia, which Firestone is one, should make $5 per day. If you divide $5 per day by 8 hours of working, 8 hours of work, it is like 63 cents per hour. Who lives on 63 cents per hour when the international media is already saying that the typical Liberian live on less than $1 a day? Is that money a livable wage? That's one of the questions. 2, he talked about a cabinet general issue. Cabinet general issue, the senior senator of Nimba County, Pre Johnson, told the 9 representative of Nimba County to walk out of the process in the House of Representatives when the process started, when the impeachment started in the House of Representatives. He asked the 9 representatives to walk out. He declared it unconstitutional and illegal. And he used those 9 guys to walk out. They didn't participate in that. When it went to Senate, where you have to convict or acquit cabinet, you and Prince Johnson did not, you did the opposite instead of walking out. If he was sincere, if he did not falsify or he did not intentionally use our other brother in the lower house to enrich himself, you and Senator Johnson sat down there and voted for the removal of your own brother. In the administration, we have Councillor Imaya Yang Blaze Achi Jose, we have Councillor Jim Blair as Associate Justice. That was 2 great sons of Nimba County. That also happened from Ellen to John Weir administration. You all sat down there, you all used the guys in the lower house.
Oh man, make your question. Go straight to the question, please. Yeah.
What do you have to say about that?
All right, thank you so much. Okay, let me, after this person here, 904 number type, go ahead with your question quickly.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Counsel, for bringing out to this show, and also to your listening audience. I like this senator. This senator, I mean, all I see here is just a talking point. Now, you asked me a simple question, and I won't be long here. The people of Nimba gave it a chance to go over there and shop for 9 years, okay? My question to the senator, and I believe he asked this question on several occasions. He did not answer. Let him point out one thing, one achievement in Nimba. That's all I'm asking. If he just point out one achievement that Senator Grupee has achieved in the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, caller, you gotta go. Let me go to the senator to give him a fair chance to respond to these barrage of questions coming. Senator, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. We're going to be closing in the next few minutes. I don't think we're going to talk out of the Liberia issue or neither Nimba County issue yet.
But to be very frank with you, Alfonso, I like this kind of audience. It's just our ambush. If I had known that I was going to be facing this large audience, I would have been even more prepared. But let me tell you this. When it comes to achievement, I don't know what you consider to be achievement. I look at achievement in a wide range. I have pointed here in answering a question, 3 buildings that are erected free of charge for the people. I think that's an achievement. Let me also go further to say that the peace and stability and tranquility that the people enjoy today in Nimba, it is at the back of some of all, especially us and the Thomas Grupee sitting here. There was a problem between the Wie clan and the Nikwe clan in Nimba County, District number 5. Okay? A gentleman from Nikwe went and killed a boy from Wire. The people, the police, 2 police that was in Butuo, have this guy arrested and put him in jail. This is about 4 years ago. The people of Wire clan, having heard of this, incident, chartered like 13 motorbikes and went to Butuo early in the morning and seduced the 2 policemen that was on duty, went and broke the jail, brought this guy out, and butchered him to death. When the people of Nikwa heard this news, that their citizen who killed someone from Wire had also been, brutally killed, they went and packed their single barrel gun to go to war with the people of Wire. When Samuel Gongben Koga, the representative from that district, went into this issue, okay, for about a week, they could not handle it. At the time, I was the chairman of the Nimba Legislative Caucus. He called on me. I took about 6 of our caucus members, and we went to Wire. We have that investigation all day, all night. And we settled that issue in an amicable manner. Today, the people of Wire and Nikwe living together side by side in peace. Has it not been for me, these people, for us, because I carry police, and even the Kata Center was involved. Has it not been for my leadership, our people would have gone to war, having been in war for 14 years, that had destroyed everything that we ever had or that our people ever worked for. That is an achievement. Okay? When you talk about peace and reconciling the people of Nimba, the people of Ban, the county administration, under the leadership of D. Dorkopa, who wants to run for Senate today as development superintendent, went there and said that we want to lay out street in Ban and get the people 7 days that they should pack out their thing and leave. He will broke down all the houses, that were left in the streets to be built. The people went on the rampage. They defy, the Nimba County administration, that any caterpillar whatsoever that comes there to say that they're broken down their homes, they will burn it out. When they issue intensive fire, at that time, I was no longer chairman of the caucus. It was Senator Prince Johnson. He was right there in Ganta at his house. I told him, I said, Senator, there is a problem that's creeping. Okay? Nimba people in Liberia, you know how we are living. Like the warlike people. Okay? But we are not. We are a very peaceful and very calm people. Okay? But when you troubles you. So anyway, when I talked to my senior senator, he told me, say, you can go there. I don't have the time. I went there. I went and spent my own money and brought all the people together. I think today our former city mayor, okay, Dan Bay, is sitting here today in New Jersey. If she listens to me, she will attest to this. All right? Angie is here. We have Wo Quigley here. We have our other superintendent, Aubrey Way, right now in Florida. They will tell you. I spent all days and I brought the people together. Okay? And we took a vote in the evening. And majority of the citizens say we want the street to be laid out in bond. But the time given to us is too short. Give her enough time so that we will prepare ourselves, and y'all give her a little money. Those of us who our house is going to be broken down, so that we will buy at least 1 or 2 bundles of zinc. Okay? We worked that out, and the street was laid out without incident in bond. I could give you in Tapeta. Okay? The scene happened there in Tapeta with the aid of, Joseph Nimba Boake, former vice president. We were able to resolve. So I have been there reconciling the people of Nimba. When we went in after the Civil War, I think one of our primary, concern was how to reconcile the people of Nimba, the Gio, the Mano, the Madingos, the land issues in Nimba County up to now. That land issue has not been resolved. It was a Madingo man, Musa Belete, who was a chairman of the land, dispute, committee. All right? Up to now, I have revisited that issue on 3 occasions with some of my colleagues. And we are yet to resolve that in its totality. One of my primary, duty, like our sister asked, which is my, constitutional responsibility, is representation. To represent the interests of my people and make sure that my people live in peace and harmony. Okay? Most of what you people are saying, like what I was saying here earlier on, the expectation of the legislature in Liberia is too high. Okay? Without the executive, most of these things cannot work out. And there is no way that you will go on impeaching president, impeaching this person, impeaching that person, on a daily basis or on a week. It will not work. We have to come to grip with reality. When I was in this country, living here, I was speaking yet at you. That when I step down to Rawa Feet today, I will make sure that this here is king. When I step down there today, we will make sure that, but when you get there, you will see that problems are there that even beyond what you're looking at. People going to bed without food. People raping people, little children. Okay? 10, 12 years old. Okay? You look at these problems, and then you look at, corruption, and you look at other things. Which one you have to prioritize? So our country have problems. And we have to solve it by being sincere to each other. My salary cannot do it. Like one time my wife asked me, can you send us some money? I said, I don't have money, honey. All what I make, I give it to the people. She had just left Liberia. I said, you in Kenya, you saw the people. She said the people that United Nations cannot solve their problem. You think you can solve it as an individual? And today, when I think of what that woman said, United Nations cannot solve our problem. There is no one individual that is able to solve it. We are trying to do our part. Okay? But my first and foremost problem in Nimba County is that the crown man and the Gio man should coexist. the Mandingo man and the, how they call Crown man should coexist. The Grupee man should be able to enter the area where the Mana man is. And these things were never happening. We had so much problem. 9 years cannot solve it. And I'm not even able to solve it for the rest of my life if I stay there. Okay? But I show that.
Are you there, Senator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm sorry. I must apologize to you if I have not met your expectation. And most of what I have been telling some of my colleagues from this country. Okay? This guy left from here and went to Liberia with a dual citizenship bill. Okay? Woti. When Woti came to Liberia, we received him at the Liberian Senate. And today we make sure that we put our dual citizenship bill through. And today the dual citizenship bill has passed and is on the referendum, for this coming election. That is not an achievement for you. You know how many people who fought to pass dual citizenship bill in Liberia, and they're giving citizenship to Nigerians, Ghanaians, and all of that. But you and myself, who are, citizens, born citizens, with our neighbor stream buried in our country, we cannot enjoy, the privilege and the opportunity that these guys have, because they are citizens in their country. When they come to Liberia and then subscribe to our citizenship, and they got, the naturalization, they can enjoy both. And that's why we did not have until we push it on. Y'all please help us.
All right.
Instead of being a critic, it will not solve our problem.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Follow yet, and then Senator, we're going to be wrapping it up, so you make your closing statement. Tobasi, are you there?
Yes, yeah, Mr. Su.
Yeah, go ahead quickly with your question, that we are out of time before.
Yes, Mr. Grupee, I want to say thank you, Senator Grupee. Thank you for coming on today. My name is Christopher Lotte Tobasi. I'm from Babli Administrative District, Lower Nimba County. Senator Grupee, my question here, or my comment before my question is, I'm not a big fan of other people leading other people. I really don't think that the Nimba Crown people from Babli District should be led by or somebody of the Gio or the Mana tribe. I think we can lead ourselves. I think that we should be able to represent ourselves in the House of Representatives. So my question here is, how can we become a full-fledged district? How can we become a full-fledged district to lead our own people instead of somebody of the Mana and the Gio tribe leading us every time?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm out of time. I want to give the senator a chance to
end quickly. Could you please also tell us how many tribes are in Nimba County? Because the UNICO chapter of North Dakota said that there's only two tribes in Nimba, and we don't have Nimba Crown and Mandingo or the people from Grupee. So I want you to please tell us on this public forum here today, saying we are having an intellectual discourse, so that you can make it clear how many tribes are in Nimba County. Because I feel disenfranchised. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go to the senator to respond, and then he will be making a closing remarks. We're going to bring the curtain down for the rest of the day. And are you there, Senator?
Yeah, Alfonso, I'm even now enjoying this show. My brother that just called from Babli, you ask a legitimate question, even though I answered it before. We have 5 original tribes in Nimba. But when it comes to self-governing or, representation, I know you're talking about electoral districts. We are waiting for the census. We have gone 12 years without census. And this is why I was saying here that Jeremiah couldn't come on this show you're asking. We do not have money. We should not equal with shame. Liberia had no money, mismanagement. You understand me? Now, we cannot have censor. So if we cannot have censor, we cannot have the threshold that make up, electoral district. I have already, working with my colleagues, we have already mapped out, Nimba County to have 5 additional electoral districts. Instead of the 9 that we have right now, if that go through, we will be having 14 electoral districts in Nimba. And one of it supposed to be from Lower Nimba. The Pabli and Bo and Quila. That one electoral district right there. Pabli and Bo and Quila is more than, when you look at the population right there, more than what you have in Grand Cru or, Sando County that call themselves a district or what have you. Okay? But we cannot do it without the censor. We have to have the censor and then know, the threshold, the number of people that we have. And once that happens, Pabli and Bo and Quila will constitute, a district, and then that number will be small, and Pabli can either fight to have the representative or Bo and Quila will fight to get it, instead of merging you with Do and all of the different areas. Now, with the tribes that we had, your UNICO that you talk about, I was a member of UNICO up to the level of chairman of the board of UNICO in this country. We have a problem in UNICO in this country that lasted for more than 6 years. Okay? If you heard of the issue between, Wangan, Ines Yomi, Keita was then the president of UNICO. Keita is a Mandingo man. The 5 tribes in Nimba County belong to UNICO. Okay? Senator Johnson said that once, and we condemned him. We told him, say, Chief, with all due respect, Nimba County belongs to all the tribes. You can choose your friends, but you don't choose your neighbor. Your neighbor is your neighbor by the creation of God. Okay? God put 5 tribes in Nimba County, and we should respect each other, and we should coexist and live together side by side. That's it. So if UNICO is a replicate of Nimba County, then UNICO should represent what Nimba County look like. I represented 5 tribes in Nimba, and even with the Pede that we didn't count them to be the official tribe there, we represent all of them. So UNICO here should represent all of the tribes that in Nimba County. It should be the reflection of Nimba. That is my answer to that. Thank you.
Okay, so Senator Grupee,
my closing comment, let me just jump in here.
Yeah,
there was a question, a legitimate question asked, which I did not answer, and let me answer it in my closing comments.
Okay.
It is very pathetic. I am not on the budget committee anymore. Garrison Yellow and myself used to be on the budget committee. At the time, Senator Prince Johnson was on the defense, and intelligence committee. He was the chair. But when they switched it around, because only one member from a county at the upper level can be on each of the committee. If I'm on finance, I cannot be on defense. If I'm on defense, I cannot be on finance. So they carried him to finance, and they brought me to defense. Okay? Since then, they carried Jeremiah Kuhn at the lower house to finance, and he is now the co-chair to Thomas Fowler in the lower house. All financial instruments start with the lower house. The question that somebody asked today, G.W. Hardy Hospital received a budgetary amount of $122,000. And then, how they call the Ganta Methodist Hospital received a budgetary amount of $89,000. Jeremiah Kuhn Hospital, the E&J Hospital, that was built a few years by, about 5 years by, was receiving $300,000 per year. Receiving $300,000 per year. And this particular hospital is not even to the standard of a real hospital, like a modern clinic. Okay? Most of us have condemned it, but he received that money only because he is on the budget committee. And these are the conflict of interest that we have been speaking about in Liberia. Okay? So we are going to work at it. I'm glad he sold the hospital now. From my understanding, I heard that he sold the hospital. Okay? But if not, we will have to investigate this. If this hospital is receiving $300,000, how many subsidy are you providing, to our people? Because the reason why they give subsidy to a private hospital is the number of citizens, okay, that are receiving treatment, from that particular health center or hospital. So even if you were providing free, care to 100 people, okay, 300,000 United States dollars, it is just so exorbitant, for that. But it is something that we have to, look at it or re-look at it. But all of those issues are to be addressed. Thanks so much for giving me this platform. And while I am still in the United States temporarily waiting for, flight to resume, you are welcome to create a platform where I will speak maybe exclusively to the people of Nimba.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, again, I want to thank you for being spontaneous to our request to come here. There are a lot of people that we have invited, and some of them will consent in the end times. They canceled and they will not even respond. But by virtue of you being spontaneous to our request, I really, really appreciate that. Like you said, you're right here. Anytime, just let us know if we want us to do it like in a town hall style meeting where you will want to outline some of the things that you are doing, and not just you, any other candidate, incumbent, or those that are contesting, that we are open. That's the work of Liberia Public Radio. We tend not to be judgmental and try to do the best we can to give people the opportunity to speak, to speak their mind and face some of these tough questions. But I want to thank you so much for taking up this Sunday time to be with us here at Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. And to our sister network, the DTV of Nimba County, for relaying this. We hope if you can get in touch, maybe I will ask President Dan. Thank you so much for also helping to get this going. And again, on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, one of the contender or aspirants of Nimba County's Representative Jeremiah Cohn has agreed to appear on the Liberia Public Radio here at LPR TV. Until then, to my followers home and abroad and whatever you are, I want to say thank you so much for being part of this program. And part of that, to take our Senator home here this evening. Let me just take him to his hometown, Nimba County, where he will share this here. Thank you so much.
Take care.
This is how we want to leave here today. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. I want to thank my guest, Senator Thomas Grupee, right here in neighboring Massachusetts, for sharing out here to honor this invitation. We sure have had and senatorial aspirant Bill Nyanon canceled, but we'll see what next, what comes on. But in the meantime, we are still in Central Liberia. Tuesday, Representative Jeremiah Cohn, who was being endorsed by the political godfather of Nimba County, Prince Johnson, will be here to take the stage on LPR. We give you the opportunity to speak your mind and do what is better. I am Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. So that Oh man, the old man on the wall now says it's time for me to go. I want to thank you, all of my participants, our onliners, and those are following us. By the way, live podcast is also televised on the official website of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We will be doing more of this going forward. The invitation has been out to Ta Wombe, Edith Gonglo, where as well. We have reached out to Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, potential contender Minister Besanga Finley. We are taking over the 15 political subdivisions, making the information proportionate and giving everybody the opportunity to express and articulate their view. We here at LPR, we intend not to be judgmental. We're going to give you the doubt you hear from these people. All right? One good thing, no one comes on LPR out and walk away free without asking some of these tough or silly questions that you think it might be. All right. Every good thing must come to an end. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV.
Diaspora informative news platform Liberia Public Radio LPR presents Freedom Watch with Alfonso Zinso. On Freedom Watch, we hold national leaders, opposition, and the general public accountable for words by asking tough questions in exchange for real-time answers. No one walks away free by providing false information. If it's from LPR and Zinso, it got to be good. Be my guest every Sunday live on LPR TV from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV.
For the Liberia Public Radio based in the U.S., I currently visit the entire. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome to Fiber King of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She had really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hair ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fiber Queen on 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome, 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 welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodland Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrics Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all Akwaba.
Okay, folks, that does it this evening. We want to thank you so much for being part of this program. I'm Alfonso Z and Sot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We're going to be breaking the curtain down. Thank you so much. I don't usually respond to questions. It's unprofessional to do that, but sometimes you have to do it. Brother Joe, my question has to do with judgmental. If you understand, in a communication war is different from that of what other people ask. I don't ask question by telling you say you are a role. I gave you the opportunity. I will ask open-ended questions to give you the opportunity. I do not come to say this is why it's it. Even if I'm making a reference, I have to paraphrase it, because if I come from to say this, I'm already feeling running judgment, and this is what we should not do. But people outside of this industry, they can ask that question, but we know exactly how we ask, how we go about to ask it, and how we go about to get the answers that we need. But I thank you for your observation. That Fabric Queen is in Philadelphia, and for those of you that have your businesses as well, you can advertise with us. Liberia Public Radio is fully planted in Liberia. Correspondence, if not all, in most of the counties: Nimba, Bon County, Mount Gibby, Sino, Maryland, Grand Judet, and we are all out there. Our ultimate goal is to take the news before Capitol building, the Temple of Justice, Foreign Affairs, but get it out there and making it proportionate. That's our ultimate goal. We feel all the 15 political subdivisions, 14 besides the Moserado, we believe all of them have their narrative. They need to be heard. The story, they are interesting stories and unveiling in these various counties, districts, towns, and villages. And our goal is to make everybody to be part of the news making. No one should be left behind. I want to thank you so much for being part of this program. We're still in Central Liberia. Tuesday, I'm going to be having Representative Jeremiah Kuhn, who potentially is the political heavyweight of Nimba County, Senator Prince Johnson, throwing his weight behind. We extended an invitation to Senator Johnson as well, but at his own timing, hopefully. And please, for those of you in the various counties, districts, be let President Dan, who helped us to get these lawmakers. By the way, I already have the full listings of all of the lawmakers in Liberia. So we're going to leave no stone untouched to make sure and bring them and give them a fair shot that they might be heard. Welcoming my own sister, Siadat, right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. It's better late than never. I believe today is Sunday, so it's good you have some time. But this is what we sign up for, and this is what we'll be doing. Thank you, George Lobot, Yat, and all of those in this business. Lofa Julius, I'm sorry. You came at a time that we're just wrapping up. But please, they get a saying the same. Walk about child can see their mind body. Have a pleasant day. I'm Alfonso Z, and so I will see you Tuesday. Join the Liberal Progressive tomorrow. Conversation with Sam Sinto will be right here on LPR. Have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.